Hey everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Choochagatari, Unlimited Train Works, our anime podcast. We just celebrated getting the gang back together like 2 weeks ago on our last episode, and we are already separated again as Trixie is not with us this time, but I do have with me John.
I am here, yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And Elvie.
I'm here also.
So at least you get three. I guess we always get three, pretty much. Like, we've maintained three throughout our entire duration, I think. Like,
Yeah, at the
very
least.
yeah. So, hey. It's nice having four now, because it doesn't feel as bad when it's like, oh no, someone's not here or whatever. Like, we really gotta buckle down and get people in or something. Like, it's like, yeah, we're just fine, you know? Three's fine. Three's company. Like the show. That's not anime, though, unfortunately, so
No.
we can't talk about it. But this time we are going to talk about Tamako Market. Elvie, you picked
Yeah,
Tamako Market.
I did.
Do you want to give us a summary
The download?
slash
Yeah.
whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, when we chose this, I ended up choosing the final title. Basically, I narrowed it down to, why not, watch, an assortment of KyoAni titles, especially in response to, the unfortunate thing that has happened, and, people are still reeling, so take care of yourself out there, folks who are listening. I know, just to quickly go into that, I know, more details about the incident and, certain names, unfortunately, are being released now to the public at this point, so, yeah, please take care of yourself, right? If you gotta mute things, if you gotta, take a step back and do a digital detox from all those, negative things coming out, do that. So Tamako Market, is a KyoAni joint, and it revolves around and focuses on a shopping district in Japan, also known as an arcade, a shopping arcade, specifically around the daughter of a mochi shop, the daughter of a family who runs a mochi shop. And yeah, Tamako Market is basically about love and mochi and all the shenanigans revolving around the two things. The best way to describe it is that it is kind of like a slice of life, but there is a subplot that kicks the series into, that drives the series essentially. So one day, the title character is just goes to a flower shop in in the district, and she just finds this weird bird. She finds this weird bird in the packaging in the bouquet she opens up that she had to get and fetch for something. And this bird is a very flamboyant kind of character, claiming to be from this island, from this south. It's implied to be a Southeast Asian island. I'm not sure. I'll go into that later. But this bird claiming that he has to find a bride for his country's prince, and then that kind of skyrockets the events to follow, in which the bird indirectly affects the characters' lives and how they think about the circumstances they're in very subtle ways. Well, not subtle ways, but in very small ways. About their own insights on love and their lives currently. For instance, the main character Tamako, which is the title, that connects back to the title. She, there's her childhood friend basically has a crush on her, and a lot of the things that happen in the series, pushes him to think about that, and thinking about oh, should I confess her, etc. And yeah, the series kind of doesn't really have a main character. Tamako is essentially is that. I think the series as a whole focuses on the whole community of the shopping district, as a bigger picture, and just how this bird and the weird little subplot in regards to finding a bride for the from where he came from, kind of brings all these people together, and it's just a very nice, pleasant show about a community as a whole. I feel the arcade, the shopping district, is its own character, and I think that's essentially what the series is. The series really is just about, community and family, and finding love and mochi. So, that's my best way of describing it. It's kind of hard to describe. Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe because so much does happen. Again, there is this subplot, but also it's not that important. And I'll go into that a little more, I guess, as we talk about it and hear everyone else's thoughts. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's as good an explanation as any, really. Because it I have varying opinions on this show, but
Yeah.
I do think it's a good show.
Yeah. I mean, I do too. So I'll go into that later.
Yeah. John, do you want to drop your takes on it? Because you're the most recent person to finish it, right?
I guess, yeah. I
Yeah.
just finished watching it before. Well, not exactly right before we started recording, but a little bit before we recorded because
What are
I'm
your hot
lazy.
off the presses take? Like,
Well, I don't want to. I feel like I am maybe going to be a little negative here. I guess I'll just start off by saying I don't hate the show. I like some of the characters, but I don't really feel like there's anything going on for 90% of that show. And then the 10% of the show that there is something going on, like half of that is just kind of dumb. It was just like really meandering constantly, and I guess I understand that is like the point of the show. It is very much just watch these characters interact. Nothing really awful is going to happen to them. Like, and I'm not like, oh man, some shit has to go down in Tamako Market. Like, I'm not waiting for like a fucking hostage situation or some shit. Like I'm not crazy, but I'm just sitting there like nothing happens. There's like no character development whatsoever. Like nobody changes at all from the beginning of that show to the end. There's like no conflict except for in like 2 episodes, which were like the 2 good episodes. The 2 episodes that I liked were the episodes that were not at all focused on Tamako at all. It was the episode about, I think, Shiori, who's the girl with the glasses.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
That episode was really good because it actually had a conflict, and it was about like introducing this character to the group. But then after that, she doesn't do anything. She just gets hit on by the bird, and that's it. And then the other episode that I liked was the episode where they were trying to plan the baton thing, their like little recital.
Yeah. The end of year, like, for the cultural festival.
And that was a good one because again, there was a conflict. There was I don't remember the girl's name, but there was the like more popular girl who was upset because she was putting all the work on her own shoulders.
Midori,
and
yeah.
Midori.
Oh, I have
yeah.
I have a lot to say about Midori also. But keep going.
Sure. I liked a lot of the supporting cast. I could see potential in the more main characters, but I just didn't really like it on the. I mean, I wasn't as into it as I felt like I would have been based on how much some people were talking it up. Yeah, and then at the same time, like that last episode, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. The last episode was like really bad. I thought it was really poorly paced. Like it is. Like, okay, I guess I could talk about it. So the like, I guess, quote unquote main plot that comes in is that it turns out that Tamako like meets the criteria to be married to this prince from an island, and that is where the bird is from. That is where the Choi, the girl that like comes to meet up with the bird, is from, and so then the prince is also there, and she meets the criteria, and then everyone just kind of immediately just decides, oh, so she must be leaving, oh, she must be going, she must want to do this, when nobody has talked to Tamako at all, and she like hasn't even expressed anything. She hasn't even expressed like being wishy-washy about it. Like everyone just decided that she wanted this. And then it takes the entire episode for her to be like, no. It's so baffling. Like, I don't, like, no, like, so many people in this show do not act like people. And it's just so weird, and it just makes the plot, like, feel contrived. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Like I said, I liked some of it. I liked some of the character interactions. I liked some of the characters, but they were mostly the side characters. And it's really beautifully animated. It has great music. But that's how I feel about it.
Do you want to talk about stuff, Elvie, or do you want me to go?
Oh no, you should go next. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I will absolutely agree that the first thing that I thought of was how wonderful the animation is. How the animation is just like really fantastic, and like the whole soundtrack is also really, really good. Even just the music that they wrote for the sake of plot points in that show, like the cute little song that the dad wrote for the mom or whatever. I really liked that. But it's I have a lot of the same problems as John, I think. One of the main things is I loved the Shiori episode, like he did. But I wish Shiori showed up more, I guess, because like every time after she shows up that first time, it's just sort of like she's there, as opposed to like after the end of her episode, you'd expect them to just become friends after that, or like at the very least have like Shiori around, because I really thought like she acted like really like a shy girl would, like just normal, like, you know, like trying to like psych herself up to be like friends with these people or whatever, after like seeming like aloof and like mean or something like that at first to them. And I really liked that. It reminded me of like the stuff I like from K-On! And stuff like that. To use K-On! As an example, I kind of wish the show was more like K-On! Because something that I was expecting the show to do that they sort of did, but not really enough, was like in the first episode, they introduced pretty much all of the characters you're going to see for the most part in that show. With the exception of like Choi and the prince later on. They introduced pretty much everyone, and like I thought like, okay, so is this going to be like a show where like each episode, especially after Shiori episode, they're going to examine like a member of this market or something like that, and have like some introspection into like what makes them do what they do or whatever, or like some sort of conflict they're going through or whatever, or something like that. And I was like, I would be into that, but like it doesn't. And I feel like the main flaw that this show has is it doesn't really have a driving force that's like, it doesn't really have a driving force. Like you said the subplot about Tamamo getting married. Tamamo. I keep calling her Tamamo because of fate.
Oh no.
But the subplot about Tamako getting married, it's not a very good plot line, and the fact that it doesn't, like, it hardly intersects with the relationship that is brought up like in the first few episodes, extremely so, between Tamako and what's his name?
Mochizo,
yeah.
Mochizo, yeah, because he's named after Mochi.
And the other one is Mochimazo or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Mochimazi.
But, yeah.
That's the bird, yeah.
But her and Mochizo, it's like you expect like that to be like the moment where like, oh, like there's a conflict or whatever, and they can like maybe talk to each other and have a serious discussion, but like nothing like that happens. Like the whole plot line with that stuff is resolved like, I mean, it's resolved before it's even started, because Tamako's like, okay, I did it right that time. I second guessed myself. So Tamako's like immediately like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that or whatever. And then like all of these weird conflicts sprout up about it, like, oh, the dad thinks she really is gonna go do it or something like that, and it's just like, I don't get it. I don't know, there's a couple episodes also where Tamako just sort of acts like a like manic pixie dream girl style thing, like, oh, we're gonna do this crazy thing and mix up stuff, and then like just does that to a random person every episode or something like that, and it's just always like, okay. Like I don't know, it feels like there are like a lot of deep moments in the show that I really liked. Like I liked the episode about the father, where it was like going over like something that had been referenced earlier, where like Tamako was trying to remember the song or something, and it's revealed like, oh, it's a love song that the dad wrote or whatever. I thought that was really cute, like that whole setup around that episode. But then like that's the most depth you get, and it doesn't like they don't go deep into like, okay, why is everyone doing what they're doing? Why are the people like feeling this way or whatever? Like nothing really gets resolved. I heard the relationship between Mochizo and Tamako gets resolved in the movie, I guess, for the most part. I'll probably watch that at some point, but like in the series as is, it really felt like they just didn't want to resolve anything a lot of the time. which you could say is a metaphor for life in general, and life doesn't always get resolved, but like I don't know, like if a lot of the time, like John said it, I didn't feel like they were acting like very much like people, like just sort of like objects of the plot. And that's something that I definitely wish was better, because like I really like K-On! A lot, and I think that K-On! Succeeded because it had like a ton of focus on each individual girl, whereas I feel like this didn't have enough of a focus on any individual person, or like even the people that it focused on. Like I think Shiori is probably the best bet for it, like the person who got the most like development and everything. But like, yeah, I just sort of wish it was like K-On!, I guess.
It's funny that you mention that, because this was made by the exact pair of
I
women
know.
who made K-On!, and that's
I
interesting.
know, that's what shocked me when I was like looking it up.
The same character the same writer, the same character, and that's
Yeah.
I think the stark difference really is that I don't recall Kyoto Animation actually doing an original like anime at all. Tamako Market's not based on any source material. K-On! Is though.
Yeah,
So this is
sure.
clear, I think, and I actually do agree with like both of you, like the flaws that the series has. I definitely agree, and I think this is like a common. The problem where the characters don't feel developed is like a common criticism I've seen about the criticism of the show. It's interesting. The show actually does like have a huge divide. I think about that. Like,
Yeah, when I
like,
was
if you look
looking it up, it
yeah.
seemed like a
Yeah, so I'll go into say that no, yeah, I do agree. Like with like majority of flaws. Like I think me personally, my most disliked episode was the episode with the haunted house and stuff. Like everyone was just stupid
Yeah.
for no reason. Like,
I
what is
know,
going
like I don't know what that was.
that
It
was
really
very
weird.
strange. But yeah, I don't. I'm not gonna go into that, but the whole thing where the flower shop owner, who I love, just going in the freezer for some reason, and they're like, "Oh, why did the flowers?" That was very strange, but
It was just a weird episode.
it was so strange. No one was thinking straight at all in that episode. And it takes like Hana, who I think is the best girl in the series, like the architect, like obsessed girl, and she's just very strange and eccentric. And she's like, I think she's the best girl. Like, who's like, oh yeah, the locker like across from me is like broken. I'm so bothered by it. I need to fix this. She's lovely.
Oh yeah, she's like far and away the best character.
Yeah.
Every one of her like
She
little
also has like
quips
sense.
is hilarious.
Yeah, she's like somehow the smartest one too. Like she somehow has like an insight that no one else has for some reason, while everyone else is aloof. Where she seems to be the aloof one, but she's not actually. And like, no, yeah, I do agree. Like the series opens up a lot of like plot threads and development threads, but doesn't necessarily go far enough in terms of like actually developing them. Like I personally think, compared to Shior, I think the most developed character is the little sister. Who?
Oh,
yeah,
you know what? Yeah, probably.
Who herself kind of has like a deeper insight compared to everyone else, and like the whole thing where, she's actually explored way more than Tamako herself, and that's like a problem. She has this whole thing about wanting to grow up, and she doesn't want to be treated like a child anymore. Like the whole thing where she hates people calling her by her nickname, etc. And then like she eventually reveals and cues in that like she has this crush on this boy that's moving away. And that, I think that was like a very nice episode. It was a very slow episode, but I thought that was a very nice thing, like exploring, like how she's very awkward and she can't, fess up to the fact that she's, even though she wants to be the mature one, she herself recognizes her older sister as like a little childish and more naive than her.
Yeah.
She still is a child herself, and she can't fess up and be honest about her own feelings. And I think that's like a big. She kind of, I feel like, exemplified like a big thing the show is trying to do. Like, it's a whole thing about like all these people don't know how to fess up to their feelings, or like they have their own like problems when it comes to confronting love, whether romantic or non-romantic love. And I think the little sister was like a great example of like what the show was trying to tackle, but it kind of fell flat with a lot of the characters. And I agree, I like wish the show was more sporadic with its character focus, because a lot of times I felt like it was just like trying too much to focus on Tamako, where I was like, no, I would think I would benefit a lot if like I knew more about like Sayori, the hot spring girl who kind of just disappeared because, like, oh, I'm getting married. And there was that whole sad thing where, like, one of the shopkeepers had a crush on her and he learned to, like, have to, like, and I'm like, wow, like, that's really sad, but I wish I kind of explored those characters more.
I wish I knew who this man was, I guess, right? Like,
besides him having an afro and a chick in it, right? Like, okay, that's an interesting character design. Like, there's a lot of, like, lovely, like, characters, like, in this shopping arcade, but the only thing I know about them is, like, from a very a very surface level of, like, how much Tamako knows about them. Like, oh yeah, that's the old lady that runs the meat shop. And none of them really have names either, or, like, they do have names. Like, the flower shop owner is Karu-san, as referred to. And, yeah, like, that definitely is the show's problem. And I think, like, this problem is definitely exemplified with the character Midori, who I'm going to go into now, specifically, who, they tried, and I don't know if people got this, but Midori, like, second episode, Midori's trying to confront her feelings that she might be gay and has feelings for Tamako, possibly. And they kind of don't really go, like, deep into that enough where, like, it's too ambiguous. It's, you go into second episode, first feeling, like,
too ambiguous.
You're, like, confused. Exactly, it's like, why is she, like, just running away to the cat? Well, another cool character. I like the record shop cafe owner. He's. Oh yeah, I do appreciate his, like.
He's weird, like.
Yeah, like, oh, we have the weird esoteric old guy that, like, everyone runs to. Like, I appreciate that. So yeah, he's another cool one. Yeah, again, like, my favorite characters are the supporting characters, which is, clear. It's like they feel like they have more to do to them, despite the fact we're not exploring them, which is a shame, because I think that's what the show would have been from. Like, we should be exploring these, like, characters with very, like, interesting traits about them and interesting roles they set for themselves that, like, like the record shop owner, like, etc. Yeah. But yeah, Midori is like, oh, wow, there's, like, a lot going on with her, but they don't quite, like, they're not consistent with it. There's another episode where, like, she's, like, butting heads with Mochizo, which she knows that Mochizo has a crush on Tamako, and she, like, is not being upfront with him about the fact that, like, she herself kind of has these, like, this infatuation, but Mochizo just thinks she's weird, and she's being, like, she's just being a friend, air quote, but it's not really, I don't think it's written well enough, or, like, it's conveyed well enough where it reads as, like, oh, she's going through this, like, she's going through this wave of emotions that's clearly romantic. It's, like, I think the best times where this is, like, I think, conveyed is whenever she interacts with Kana, again, the weird, like, eccentric architect, like, mathematical obsessed girl, the very eccentric girl. Kana seems to be, like, the one who knows for a fact Midori has feelings for her friend. And, like, it's those moments where, like, I think one line in particular I remember, like, I think again, this was the second episode where, like, Midori is, like, the focus on the Valentine's Day episode, which was very cute, actually. Kana's, like, nudging her, saying, love can be with anyone, and that's the only time where it kind of affirms, like, the viewer's perception, like, oh, like, Midori has, like, gay, might be gay, But other than that, again, like, it has this, the series does have this problem where it doesn't, like, carry those, like, moments throughout the series, and, like, as if that thing never happened. And yeah, I agree, like, the whole thing with Shiora, for instance, that's not really carried off. She kind of, like, after that episode, she just kind of becomes another background character. She's not really as active in the group as everyone else. I mean, she does show up in the friend group, like, here and there, but otherwise, yeah, like, I think that definitely is the biggest problem with the show.
I don't know. It might just be me coming to it as a straight dude, but I definitely, whenever there was the scenes with Midori, I kept flip-flopping between, like, does this show want me to think that she is into Tamako or Mochizo? Like, I kept thinking, like there would be a scene where it seemed like she was, like, jealous about Tamako, but then there would be, like, a scene, like, in the same episode where it kind of seemed like she was, like, trying to figure out if she was into him.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was really weird. Like, I like at one moment I'd be like, are they trying to say that she's into girls? She's into Tamako? And then, like, later on, like, there was, like, a scene where they were, like, sitting next to each other at the beach or something, and there was, like, this weird, like, there was, like, it felt like they were trying to make chemistry between them, and I was like, I don't know why they're trying to do this, because they just tried to, like,
yeah.
I think it could be part of her grappling.
I guess. It was, I think I guess, like, just to agree with Elfie that just because it was so, like, weirdly written, that I kind of feel like, you know, if it is supposed to be her, like, trying to figure out if she is into girls or not, it almost doesn't come across that way. It just feels like she's, like, it just feels like she's trying to figure out if she wants to date this boy or, like, disappoint her friend or some shit. Like, it's all over the place.
I think the only thing that really clued me into what they were trying to do specifically was, like, literally the first time Midori is introduced, they specifically go out of their way to be like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. Midori gets chocolates from boys and girls.
Yeah.
And Midori was like, ha, 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 ha. And I was like,
And
so
again,
that's my only...
Yeah, and again, her interactions with Kana directly, like, Kana's always, like, bringing up this weird subtext of, like, you know, Midori, yeah, you can love anyone, wink, wink, right? Like,
yeah.
So, like, yeah, I understand, like, I think, like, they didn't know how... You know, like, I think they didn't know how to handle this. I think this is something they really wanted, but they just held back because, of course, they were probably afraid of the reception of it. I wouldn't be surprised. But also,
like, have
it was
you
also
seen
sloppy.
K-On?
Yeah, I know. K-On is, like, teeming with sapphic energy, but, like, I don't, yeah, again, this is one of those things where I think this is just another flaw of the show. Like, there definitely is, like, huge character writing problems with specific characters. I personally feel like I don't think, like, it encompasses, like, as a whole. Again, I feel like the supporting characters were the best part, interestingly enough.
When you were talking about I'll go by her what she wants.
Yeah. Respect Ann's wishes.
The actual episode that I did not like the most, I didn't like the Halloween haunted house.
Yeah, again, everyone was just stupid. Like, what was... it didn't make sense.
I didn't like the episode where she was going to go to the museum but the festival's happening either. Because it felt so... The whole thing felt very forced with what they were trying to do. Like, I appreciated what they were trying to do with, like, her grappling with, like, trying to, like, figure out her own feelings, but, like, everyone else in that episode, and even her at the end, were acting like aliens from, like, specifically, like, her father being like, no, you have to work, or whatever. And then it's, like, revealed later that she didn't have to at all, actually. And it's like, okay. And then also, like, all these people just coming in at wherever and be like, oh yeah, you can do it anyways. And then her randomly getting involved with this other tiny girl and all of a sudden, like, investing all of her time into this tiny girl at the end and being like, I guess I love festivals after all. It's like, it just felt so, like, it felt like it could have been an interesting thing to approach, like, the way a child, like, interfaces with events like that, right? Where, like, ultimately a child may like an event or something like that, but they're convinced they want to like something else or whatever, or they're convinced that they don't like it or something, and we're grappling with that could be interesting, but instead they don't even go into that. They just have, like, random events happen, and then at the end she just is like, I learned this valuable lesson at the end, like, just sort of, like... Yeah? Yeah,
I think so what I got from that episode, and I think, again, this is another recurring theme of the show, like, I think a big part with Ann is that, like, her wanting to mature and all that, and, like, you know, so to speak, and, like, I think how she kind of used her sister in a negative and, like, kind of dismissive way. It's like, I think there's also this, like, big theme of this series about, like, family and running away from family and running away from tradition. So, like, there's also, like, a huge thing about you know, the two like, Anna's very young, you know, and like, that's something not really common, you know, like, America, like, you know, Anna's, like, when their mother passed away, like it's a mentioned thing where Tamako literally, as just a kid, she literally had to jump in and start working because their mom passed away. And I think a big thing with Ann specifically is that she wants to grow up, but also it's kind of connected with the fact that she kind of doesn't want to stick around probably, and she wants to eventually, like, find her own autonomy and do her own thing, like, separate from the shop. And I think the Anko thing is also because, like, Anko is actually a reference to red bean paste, so she also is named after, like, a mochi-related thing, so that's also why. So it's like, I think what that episode with the festival in particular was like, it's not just a festival per se, but it was kind of like a metaphor for her just not liking or unable, like she has a hard time appreciating kind of like these old traditions and like the stuff her family commits to because she just wants to do her own thing. But I do agree, it's like she kind of just submitted to that, and she didn't really. Yeah, like it turned out to not be a problem in the end, and unfortunately, it just kind of like I got what they were trying to do with the little girl, because she has the dream and the memory in the beginning where she's like, oh yeah, she had to do this too with the whole shrine procession and all, where she had to dress up as like the thing, and you know, she just meets this little girl where, oh yeah, that was like me back then. Like, you know, I don't want to break this little girl's spirits because I have a different perspective now, being much older. But yeah, I agree. It was kind of sloppy, and I don't think we needed another On episode, which goes back to the fact that I think there should have been a better spread when it comes to focusing on different characters.
Yeah.
Because I felt like we got on enough with that one episode where the boy was moving away.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
that's all we needed. Like, I feel like I my problem with this episode was like it was a rehash of like that already. You know, those same themes.
Yeah. To follow up on that, like, you know, who could have used an episode is Sayuri and her father. And that man, because like that stuff that all happens in the background. Like specifically, like the father is shown being like depressed almost.
Yeah,
that she's getting married,
but we don't know who these people are.
Yeah, like he just goes to a bar and has this massive fucking bottle, this comically sized bottle that this man pulls out, and like. I was like, this is a good scene, but I don't know who this man is.
I don't. Like, yeah, I have sympathy in that moment, but I don't have a sympathy like carried over because I knew enough about them to care.
Exactly. Like, yeah.
And again, like the whole thing with, you know, the other shopkeeper who had a crush on her, and then, you know, he had to accept the fact that like, oh, she's gonna move away, and she found another, you know, and she's giving her love to another guy who's not him, you know? Like, I was like, oh, wow, that's sad, but, like, I don't know enough about this character, or I've never seen this character in a serious light, you know, like, to really feel that moment, you know?
It's especially weird with that man, because that man's entire character up to that point is just him being like, oh, bless you, I have a crush. Like, that's it. That's all he does. And then they're like, their only like, thing that they do with him is break his heart.
Yeah, right.
It's so weird. It's just weird. And that's how I feel about a lot of the characters in this show. Yeah. I would have been crazy about a show, I think, that if this show had legitimately focused on each individual, or like even just a lot of the individuals or something like that. It just felt like it didn't know what it was doing a lot of the time. And I might say that since was this Kyoani's first original thing?
I believe so, yeah. I think it's their first completely original thing without... Yeah, it's their first original thing that was not an adaptation of something previously existing, yes.
Then I will at least say that I think one of Kyoani's strengths, just from all of the things that I love that they have made, is that they know how to adapt something and make it better, like, straight up every time. Like, K-On! Is better than the... I mean, yes, they're different, but, like, the best example being Dragon Maid is, like, hands down, like, 7 million times better than the source material. And, like, even stuff like, I can't even remember.
They adapted a lot of the, I would say my introduction with K-On! Was, like, pretty early. They adapted a lot of the key visual novels, and I think they did a good job with those. They, you know, they were long series, but they compacted them in a nice, concise way. Where like, I don't have to play this, and I think I have a good idea of like what this thing is. Like they didn't feel convoluted. I mean, and they especially also like I think like it was Aaron canon. I think it was only canon. Like it was like a second adaptation of that anime, and like I think the original canon anime was infamously known for the bad art, like with the the really big like anime eyes that didn't look good, especially. But yeah, I think that was my first introduction to them, and I didn't realize they did actually Full Metal Panic actually at that point in time.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I don't think the original Full Metal Panic. They did the sequels.
Okay.
So,
okay. All right.
Like Fumu and all that. But Tamako Market is indeed their first original.
Yeah. Okay. Because. Like, even something that I was going to say also is that Hibike Euphonium, what they did with that is, like, they basically just made, like, Yuri, a series that was notorious for its, like, Yuri baiting style of stuff, and they ended up, like, going legit with it. Like, legitimately going for it, and, like, yeah, like I was being told about how like in the books or something for Sound Euphonium, I guess I'll say, she dates this dude or whatever. She ends up dating this dude, and like everyone who read the books was like, "Oh, this dude sucks" or whatever. So then they just have him like they start dating and then immediately break up, I guess, in the movie or something that KyoAni made. And I think that's like that's like a really smart idea to be like, okay, so like we're adapting this and this happened in the book, but what if? What if? And that's a good thing that they did. And I feel like maybe a problem that this series has is it was their first foray into original written stuff, especially for that team. Looking at what else they've made, like, and maybe it was just like, yeah, like it's very different to create something from nothing than it is to create something out of something else.
What I would say that makes the series similar to the things they have adapted, like all the series they have, ever, tackled, adapted, like they all have large casts of characters, and I can see them they emulated that same structure in the series, and I think that was the big problem. I think to write and like create something that has like a concise cast of characters where it doesn't become convoluted or like obnoxious, like to the point where you end up focusing on like one. You focus only on a few set of characters, like, so what's the point of having all these characters? Which is, I feel like, what kind of happened with Tamako Market. Like, I think they wanted to emulate kind of like what were the good things about their other series, but they were doing it from scratch this time.
Yeah, and also the other series had more time to like actually like write out that stuff. You know, like for like K-On! Was like a weekly like coma. It was like a 4 coma, right, or something, or an 8, whatever. Like, and that being like, oh yeah, like. They have time to introduce the ideas that they want to and like flesh out characters and spend time on individual ones, whereas this is a 12 episode thing that is airing all at once. And back then I don't think KyoAni had the we did it in advance thing that they do nowadays, so that's like it, they probably just didn't have that much time.
Yeah. Like I think it's especially telling with like the Dara bird and the island, like the whole bride subplot. Like it's not. The show is marketed where that's like a big thing, but it literally doesn't actually get explored until like a very late point in the series, and that kind of that's just like at that point it's like, why did this need to be here? It didn't need to be there.
Dara is the worst part of this show, I think.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Like.
He's well animated, I would say. Like I appreciate.
He's very well animated.
I appreciate how he literally is like a weird visual metaphor to the mochi.
Yeah.
Like very soft and and then like they're constantly just physically abusing him and throwing him around. I thought like the whole thing where the badminton club was like baton club. Sorry, mixing it. They were just like beating him up. That was a little fun. But
the thing that gets me about him is 2 things. One. I was expecting him to get some sort of development at the end. He did not.
No, of course not.
Well, nobody did.
A little bit.
Did he? A little bit. Like, I was expecting a little more, but there were multiple times where I saw him, like, go off to be with the dad or something like that, and I was expecting him to say something way more deep than he actually said or something like that, and he was just being a weirdo.
I said nobody did, not he did.
Oh,
I'm just like,
you said...
like, no. Yeah. I'm just saying, like I was saying earlier, like, everyone's really static in the show.
But, like, I just expected him to get better, and also, like, the real problem that I had with him is that, like, all of a sudden, like, 3/4 of the way through the series, he just becomes the fat joke. Like, he kind of was a little bit. And then they just go hard in on it,
it became
nonstop.
too much. It was like, we
to
get
the point
it.
of, like, oh, yeah, we're starving this bird now, or whatever.
Which
like,
also didn't make sense, but...
No, and they were just being, like, horrible. Like, I actually really like that scene, because Tomoko's grandfather does the first thing he does in the entire series. Which is, like, sneak food to this bird and be like, it's not good to, like, do something like that. And they're all like, Grandpa, you're a villain, or whatever. And I was like, no! I just didn't like, that whole direction just felt, like, very, like... like his presence just felt like rude, I guess, just like abrasive in this environment that was generally not very abrasive. Like even when like Tomoko's father was like going yelling and stuff like that, it was just like, oh, you like you're doing this or whatever. But like everything around Dara was just like, oh my god.
Just, like, it's funny, like
anger.
It's funny. Dara like essentially, again, like skyrockets what's supposed to be what was supposed to be like this main conflict, the plot about like, oh, we need to find a bride, etc., etc. And it's like you, Tamako. But then Dara also ironically like triggers like this weird negative feelings in the market that I don't think existed prior to him being there. Like I don't know. Yeah, Dara's strange. Dara's strange. And I guess to segue into like the fact that this, I don't think you two saw the movie, but the movie, I feel like resolves a lot of the problems we're talking about now, and it's unfortunate it's a separate movie, right? It's like, I feel, but I guess also, the movie's a great example, I think, of like the learning experience they probably gained from making the series with the flaws it has, because this, and like you don't need to watch the series to get the movie. I think the movie's very self-contained. It does minor references to Dara and all those events, but they're not even in the movie really. Like the movie's more like a straightforward like romance drama that actually does explore Tamako, Mochizuo, Midori. Even it actually goes into that like in a better, more concise way that I think it failed to properly live up to in the series and kind of left it hanging. And I think the movie does resolve that. Like if you read up on it, like a lot of people love the movie but don't like the series, or like vice versa. There's like two sides. There's some people who like the series more than the movie, and it does feel like a very tonally different thing. It feels less silly, in both the bad and good ways. The series is silly, but it also it still keeps up with like I think it performs and conveys the themes that the series wanted to do in like a stronger way. And in some regards, I think the series ended up succeeding in its film format than like it did as the series it initially was. So I do highly recommend for anyone who hasn't seen it, because I think the movie does wrap up the series in a way that it unfortunately I think didn't do it in the 12 episode format it was, but do highly recommend. But yeah, on the good points, yeah, the series is like beautiful, and like KyoAni has like researched I think a lot in regards to like a mochi shop, and like a lot of these traditional shopping arcades that do still exist and in a way are kind of coming back, even in the States, like they're bringing back like a lot of like these, well, not bringing back because the States didn't really have it, but like like bringing like a lot of these multi-market situations that I think are cool and fascinating to explore.
That's something that KyoAni always does that I've always appreciated, is the amount of research that they do is absolutely insane. Yeah. Like I mean, Giga might be the other one that I can think of that we've watched recently that like they did so much research into, but like KyoAni always does like, I mean, KyoAni's the one where you always see like here's the real life location from this.
Here's this photograph.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I think it was the series where I learned about, like, they actually collaborate a lot with the Kyoto Museum a lot, and the Kyoto Museum actually is doing, like, a screening of their films, like, in September, so if you're in Japan, there you go. But yeah, Tamako Market, man. But do highly recommend watching the film, because I think that
I will.
They're very different, and
will.
It's a lot. They even actually explore Kana a little bit. But the film suffers again. But the film's flaw is they literally do leave Shiori in the bus, I think, under the bus. Oh. Shiori's just like, it's a
that
shame.
sucks, because I really like her. I think she's probably my favorite.
Yeah, but the film definitely explores the main, high schoolers and like the sort of unresolved threads that they just kind of, I think, fail to really go, properly resolve in the series.
You know what I
and it's really gorgeous.
Wanted?
Huh?
I really wanted the dad and Mochizu's dad to like marry each other at the end. Like that's what I really wanted. I wanted some sort of reckoning between those two, where it's revealed like they actually like each other.
I enjoyed the first episode was really good. Like, it was really promising. Like, I enjoyed the whole setup of, like, these two feuding families over a mochi shop, and, like, and the trope of, like, but then their kids are kind of have this romantic link, and they like each other, but then the two families are feuding. I, like, love that trope. And then, like, it wasn't really... Besides the dads fighting here and there, that was, like, that was a good gag. But then, like, the trope of the two... main rhetorical, like, characters that are supposed to be romantic, like, that wasn't really, I think, held up strongly. Like, I enjoyed the whole dynamic with their, like, they have a cute, like, cup phone call thing they do and have done since kids. But, like, other than that, like, it was just kind of, it was just weird. Mochizo has this whole crush thing on Tamako, and then, again, the whole problem with Midori, that was already a conversation we had. Like, whereas it's kind of barely brought up enough in the series where it's like, okay, what's the point of this, right? It's not even like it didn't need, it didn't need to have closure at the end. Like, it could have been an unresolved thing, but it wasn't brought up enough, like, again, towards the end, that it was like, what was the point of that happening, right? So, yeah. There are otherwise, like, a lot of good, funny, like, isolated moments, I think. But, right, as a whole, I think the series trying to tackle, like, a serious narrative and, like holding it throughout all 12 episodes, it definitely faltered a lot. And, like, there were just so many good potential things that I think, like, if there was a second take of this, I think it could have been much better, right? Or, like, if there was more time on this to probably, like, polish up the writing, like, like, hey, let's actually think about arcs, which I guess didn't happen, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and again, like, just to push watching the film, I think the film was, like, a good, like, I think a good promise of, like, yeah, this is, like, our second take on this story.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, exactly, like,
after
it seems
some
like
time,
let's says about that movie.
Yeah, especially especially with the fact that literally the whole Prince and Dara thing is it's non-existent in the film. Like, it's referenced, but it's non-existent. You don't need to watch the series for this. I mean, there are things in the series that happen that are brought up in the film that I think are important to know about, because, like, the whole thing with the mother song is an important thing in the film, as if when you go watch it. But yeah, the film feels like an apology for the series. Well, not an apology per se, but, like, the film definitely feels like, yeah, take two, let's explore these concepts again, and let's explore, like, the things that are strong about what we were trying to do. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, John, I know she's not here, but she did leave us. Our fourth member, Trixie, left us her thoughts. Do you want to read us them out so that she can join in here?
Absolutely, yes. So here we go. Here is from the one, the only, Trixie, the Tomoko Market Thoughts. Tomoko Market is a very vivid and imaginative show, among the more unusual in KyoAni's repertoire. It's a wonderful slice of life, with a fantastic character dynamic that plays off of each other so well, you can't help but smile along. The joy of everyday life and its incidental worries, especially around love, make for a great backdrop to let these characters develop and grow. I'd be shocked to think of anyone who's down on the cast that makes up the vibrant Usagiyama shopping district.
Everyone's cute.
I'm doing the little office camera.
Well, we weren't down on them, really. We were more down that they didn't get more, right? Because we wanted to see more.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. The voice acting in this series can't be praised enough as well, with most characters really bringing charm.
Yeah, it was good. Sorry. Keep going.
With most characters really bringing charm and passion to their performances, even if their characters are more reserved. On the other hand, I feel like quite a bit of one's taste of the show depends largely on Dara, and to an extent, Choi and Mecha. Is it Mecha? Mecha? I don't remember.
It was Mecha, I think.
Mecha, okay.
Yeah.
The signature mascot character, and also a horny one at that, he hams up whatever scene he's in, and will never consider being anything less than extra all the time. He grew on me around the halfway point, but for anyone who can't get on board with him, the show may end up being a stumbling mess due to how heavily involved he's in, and how his side plot eventually folds into the main story's plot.
Yeah, like, the one thing that it really got me about, not to interrupt Trixie here, metaphorically, but, like, did they really have to reuse the bit where he's sneaking into the ladies' hot springs like 4 times? Do they have to do that? Because it was just sort of like, I get it, guys.
It's a little horny weasel.
Oh.
Choi and Mecha played off everyone else so well that I didn't mind it much, but it's definitely debatable. It's a show that is worth rewatching, in my opinion. A number of character and plot moments are fairly subdued for how upbeat the show is, and the gradual way both some supporting characters and even main ones like Dara can grow on you makes it worth seeing a second time. Trixie did tell us that she watched this twice over the month, so...
This month, like, that's wild to me.
You're off the shits, Trixie, but we love you. Tomoko Love Story, the movie, however, is nothing less than perfect. Having watched it a while ago before even considering the show, and rewatching it twice in the past month, she watched both twice in the past month.
Wow.
I can attest to both how wonderfully crafted it is, and how standalone it is for anyone remotely interested in checking it out. It's almost entirely absent of Dara, Choi, or Mecha, save for a short special at the beginning and one very quick cameo. The film laser focuses on its two stars, Tamako and Mochizo, in a story about misunderstandings, temporary connections, and Mochi. While the laser focus comes at the cost of minimizing much character development for the supporting cast, they still play off of each other so well and fit so seamlessly into the plot that you hardly notice it. The cinematography is to die for, the music is gorgeously done, the animation improves on the show, and Naoko Yamada proves for anyone who has doubts that she is a top-tier director. Even if you aren't into the show much, the movie cannot be recommended enough. Midori and Kana are the best characters.
Yeah. Yeah. Kana, definitely. That's a very solid, I think, accurate piece on the film, especially, like, I do agree, like, I don't know about the film being perfect, because, again, I feel like it still depends on knowing a little bit of the series. Like, if it was more, if it was really completely rid of the Dara reference, I think it would be definitely, like, a great self-contained thing. But the film, I think the film does a lot, I think, in terms of filling in the gaps that certain criticisms of the series has. I think the series could have benefited from being longer. I don't know. That's an opinion I rarely have. Like, if it's stretched out, like, a lot of these episodes, and in between there were more, like, I think this is one of those series where it could have been more successful. I mean, well, it is successful, but it could have been better, I think, if it was longer. I would say there's definitely specific. Yeah, again, it's like hard to remember because again, it's so much has happened. There are definitely specific episodes I liked and really loved. Again, I do think the second episode is very strong, especially when it comes to Midori. But again, I felt like her writing was too ambiguous, and they could have done better with that. The episode, what the episode went on in respect of her name, et cetera, et cetera. But like, it definitely had like really, I think, poor episodes, which I think is like, what's holding it down. So like, in a way, it's like, I feel like this show has a lot of flaws where I think they did a lot of characters that I really would love to hear about more, like love to have them like act out more and be engaged with more, but they definitely did them a lot of dirty because like they were focusing on the wrong things. I feel like I really love the flower shop owner. Like, oh, they're so cute.
Me too.
Like they look like a Pokemon character. I don't know. The hairstyle is like
They do.
So cute. Yeah.
But yeah, again, that's as we were saying. Like, we really love the supporting cast, and I feel like they were done it dirty, and like the show could have benefited a lot if they actually did like a nice wraparound. Like, let's focus on a spread of these characters and not just focus it on a few. And then when we handle those few, it wasn't that great, But yeah. So.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trixie. Yeah.
No, thank you, Trixie.
So we can continue with some more opinions here.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
All right.
Go for it.
Here's the opinions about Tamako Market that were sent in to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. First up is from Harlequin Wheels, who says, "Opinion: the scene in the movie with Kana sliding on the gym floor was good."
That doesn't just happen in the movie. She does a weird sliding thing whenever she enters the scene in the series. Like she enters in the gym, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what we was talking about? And like, Kana always has a great entrance. Like she either like does a weird flip. I don't know. Kana's good. That's all I can say. Kana's very good.
Yeah. And Gregory Zero says, Tamako Market is a show that left me wanting more from the development of the characters to the use of the big narrative hook that the show occasionally reminds you of, and is likely what a lot of people remember about the show as a whole. In return, however, what I got out of it was a very real feeling world that I loved being a part of, if only briefly. If you watch the show, you owe it to yourself to watch the movie. That's, like... We should have just had people watch the fucking movie. We screwed up.
But again, I'll say the movie does
required.
need foreknowledge of the series, so a little bit.
How did it? Because Trixie apparently loved it watching it without the series, from what I heard. Like,
there's a particular thing in the like unless you had knowledge of the song in the series,
sure,
it's like a big important thing in the movie that I think, yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much what we got for Tamako Market. We can move on to the rest of the show now.
Whoa, yeah. Here we are.
All right.
But yeah, wait, as a quick shout out to KyoAni, I think a new Violet Evergarden trailer came out, right, for the thing? Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is the first thing post the unfortunate attack. And again, highly recommend people to just give them their love. Like trust trustworthy sources for fundraising and stuff. I know they have like a bunch going on.
Oh,
So
yeah.
be careful out there, kids. Don't just give money
Look
to
at
strangers.
Crunchyroll. If you want to find like a list, Crunchyroll did a good list. I think you can find it on their page still. That has like all the official sources. Like a few weeks back they did. So check there.
Yeah, and it's wild that trailer. So I follow like a lot of animation, like news, press sites, etc. And that trailer is being covered by like a lot of American ones that otherwise do not cover anime usually. And it's a shame this this disaster. It's like disaster. It's awful. Is kind of now putting them on the map, like in like actual mainstream animation sources, that are not anime specific. So like I hope like Keanu actually gets the respect and like recognition they deserve like on an international level. Like A Silent Voice was released internationally, but it wasn't like a big deal breaker in terms of like, oh yeah, we have to recognize but yeah, I hope more people see what this studio's capable of and all the good things they can do. After all this, especially now, they need it more now than ever.
I'm only halfway through Violet Evergarden, but I quite like it.
Yeah,
so
it's
I
gorgeous.
recommend that to anyone. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. I'd say it's their best animation that they had done yet.
Yeah, at least that should be people's takeaway of it if they don't like the story. But it's at least like a visual spectacle, definitely. But yeah.
All right. Well, take us away, Rose.
All right. I'll get us started by saying that we had our little discussion last time about how like all these shonen style like Dr. Stone and Kimetsu no Yaiba are too like have weird pacing and stuff like that and don't respect the time. Just want to say real quick, last 2 episodes of Kimetsu no Yaiba have been like making me eat all of my words because they were like fucking fantastic.
That's what I've been hearing. The recent episodes are really good. That's what I've been hearing.
The last 2 specifically are incredible. Like episode 19 in particular, like I know like everyone's been talking about that one, but the animation in that is like wow, okay guys. Like just the way that they've been utilizing music, the animation, and like the pacing has been so much better. It has been so much better. Like I was worried after thinking about how good episode 19 was. All I could think of when I finished it was episode 20 is going to start with this whole sequence all just replayed again, and it's not going to be as cool like the second time or whatever. But the next episode started like just with the exact last 2 seconds of that sequence or whatever, which was just like this huge like dismemberment thing happening, and it was like really satisfying and cool. And I'm really liking where that series is probably going. I like the new characters that they introduced. I was kind of worried that they were going to do, because they did this thing basically where it's like they did this like big anime whatever ultimate technique thing, right? Like, oh yeah, here's our big move, and then like the dude was still alive and he's like ha ha ha, and then they have someone stronger come in and save them or whatever. And I was worried because I never like that really as a trope. It always feels very like but like I think they did a good job of not only like having that character like acknowledge just how good the characters had been doing and stuff like that, but also like demonstrate like, oh yeah, like someday you'll be on this level in a way that a lot of shonen anime tend to struggle with. Because like, I mean like Naruto for example, right? Naruto just has the fucking demon power or whatever, the 9-tailed fox that he can just do and do all these special things because he's the special one. And Kimetsu no Yaiba isn't very much like that. It's just like he's just like doing his best, and like someday by doing his best he'll be able to be like that too. And I always like seeing that. That's just shown in anime, I guess, but like I think it's done very well here. So I'm excited to see the rest of that. This is John.
Yes.
Speaking of weekly things, there's Waiver.
Yes.
I'm caught up this time, so I'll know everything to talk about.
I am also all caught up. It's super, super good. I am loving it nonstop.
Olga Marie's there now.
She's there, and it's so fucked up.
She's tiny.
She's so tiny. I hate seeing her because I'm just sitting there thinking about Fate Go now, and I'm just like, fuck, Fate Go. God damn, fucking Fate Go. Ugh.
So LV,
Yeah.
if you haven't gotten this by now, this waiver show that we talk about is this weird dumping ground basically for every single like non-King Arthur character, like non-historical person in the Fate universe. They just dump these characters in from every single other Fate series just randomly.
So they're basically like, I mean, so it's a spin-off where we're like, okay, let's throw everyone else that is not that important or shouldn't be important.
It's basically it's like, let's put the humans in here, basically, like, who aren't, like, Fox girls and stuff like that. And
I know at this point you're thinking, why the hell would I watch it? Well, the writing.
It's very good. It's just all detective mystery, but this character specifically, Olga Marie, is a character who dies in Fate Go's prologue. And they're just like, she's a main character now.
Oh, no.
It's like very strange. Like, that's the sort of weird thing that this is going with. It's weird to think like, oh yeah, this show that just pulls out a bunch of random bullshit, it's really good. Like, it's really, really good.
So is it kind of like a what if scenario, or no? Is it just kind of like, okay, let's use these things that were
canon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
canon. It's just like, it's sort of like so Fate's weird and it has like
it's
everything takes place years apart from each other. Also, like when it comes to canon events, like Fate Stay Night's 2004, Fate Zero's 1994, Fate Apocrypha's 2010. Like it's all weird, and so you have these characters who can like all be here because like it's basically everyone except who's in Fate Stay Night, basically, honestly. But yeah, it's a really good series. I wish there was more detective stuff. We've talked about this on this podcast a lot, but like this specifically has been like scratching me, being like, oh, it's so good. Especially because Fate is full of bullshit. I don't know if you've gathered that yet, but it's full of a lot of bullshit.
I mean, I can tell, yeah.
This is like exceptionally so because it's all like the mages like trying to one up each other with their like ridiculous nonsense.
Right.
Yeah, it's everyone in the show is so petty. It rules.
They're so petty. They all have maids. They're all just rich people.
Yeah, they're all just these shitty rich people that are just always trying to one-up each other and just be fucking hoity-toity. It's so good. And it's just especially good because Waver is just, like, completely not equipped for that. Like, he's trying his best to, like, hang with the rich people, but he's just, like... he's barely hanging on. Like, he's like, I will sit here and smoke my expensive cigar and drink my expensive whiskey. But the second that something fucked up happens, he's, like, about to cry. And he's like, oh, God, what am I doing? Like, it's super good.
My favorite thing that happened in this episode is when this old Catholic priest reaches over and, like, tries to hand Waver's little assistant girl, Gray, an apple. And he just sees Saber. And he goes, oh no, King Arthur. And then he falls over the ground, just like...
not again.
Like, oh no. So it's a very funny thing to happen in Fate in general. I was just thinking, like, does everyone who's like Catholic in the Fate universe see King Arthur and freak out? Is that just what happens?
Yes.
Like, they all have just like a hive mind like Kirei, and it's good.
Yeah, and like that last episode was good, but then the episode before that was also really good because it was just Waver's...
Was that the mall?
Yeah. It was Waver's quote-unquote little sister just, like, forcing Gray to have, like, a girl's day out, like, going shopping with her, and Gray just can't handle it because she's just used to being a fucking moody, like, chuny. So she's getting dressed up in, like, dresses and shit, and she's just like, I don't know what's going on, why are you doing this to me? And then the fucking Oju-sama shows up, and she starts doing wrestling moves, and I was just like, oh, okay. Good morning. That was pretty good. That episode was very good. It was very funny and very fun. And yeah, I just... this show is so much fun. It's just fun from start to finish. It's a blast. I love this show.
Yeah. When Luvia, the Ojo-sama, I think she's great that they're finally using her because she's this character who's basically like the rich, like ha 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 character, except she loves professional wrestling, and she's like super rich, and this whole conceit of this episode is her mall is enchanted with ancient mummy bullshit to make people spend more money there.
Yeah.
So, but then she like bedazzled a sarcophagus, and they got pissed.
No, like it worked too well, so it like it was like, oh, these girls are extremely powerful. They must be like a treasure somehow. We have to keep them here.
But the funniest thing that happens is there's a spell Gander in the Fate lore where you use a gem to shoot a bullet at someone, basically, of like magic. And the way that Luvia does it is she just fucking machine gun fires like 7 million jewels at once because she's rich. And I just thought that was really funny. She's just a
good
wild character, and I'm glad that they're using her because she's not used much in other Fate stuff besides Prisma Ilia, and no one should watch that.
Yeah.
Ever. Mm-hmm. Speaking of good things, LV, you finally watched Pochi, and I'm so happy about it.
I did.
I said it before the show, but I'm so happy about it.
It was a very cute charm. It's a very cute, wholesome series. Wow. I mean, everyone here has like seen it. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. Like, oh yeah, I really like it. I really like how it kind of depicted this otherwise, technically, like a very serious thing, like social anxiety, but like in a way that wasn't, like ugly or like really over the top and exaggerated, kind of like the problem a lot of people had with Watamote. It was like, it didn't explain it. It depicted in a way where I felt like it was still very grounded and realistic, but also still like interjected it with like funny moments in ways that were not offensive, but still very light and relatable. Kind of like, oh, haha, like really about the, but yeah, in
it was sympathetic.
Yeah, it was sympathetic. Like, it wasn't like it didn't feel like it didn't feel like I'm looking at this from an outside window. I felt like, oh yeah, like this is actually a thing I can relate to. I might, like you may not be able to necessarily like be on the same level as Bochi or the other like, syncrasies that other characters have, etc. But like it's they're all like depicted and like are interacting in a way that isn't like, oh yeah, you're just kind of peeping at this and like laughing at them. It's like a cute little thing where like, oh yeah, you like appreciate them and you want to cheer them on. You want them to do their best. I think my only thing was, and I guess because it's just where the series ends, my only thing was like I didn't care much for the Ojo-sama girl. Like she kind of came in very late, and I still didn't quite understand her
name was
thing
literally
with
Ojo-sama.
Yeah. Her name, I like that. Their names are like weird. They're just phrases. I didn't get her. I still am like a little weird about like I didn't get her whole thing about buying to school with the her weird paper crane, but I didn't get that.
It was very weird, but rich people are in another world.
That was really the only problem. Like, and I guess also because she was like tacked literally at the end of the anime in its current form with 12 episodes. Hopefully maybe there's another season, but like that was the only thing. Like I just didn't know. I just know much about her to care about her. I appreciate she wasn't like a like stereotype, like I appreciate she was just like an oblivious like rich girl, at least there was that. Like yeah, she wasn't at least like a weird Hime-sama like trope. But yeah, everyone is great. Ninja Girl scares me. I don't know what
she is frightening. She's just
she seems like she has a lot going on with her. She's very delusional, and I don't know what's going on. But I still think she's also someone you should support and appreciate. But she's scary. She seems like she seems too powerful. I don't know. She might actually be a ninja herself. Like that could be the twist. But yeah, everyone's great. Everyone's great.
I really like Karai the most, I think.
Oh,
she's just twisted. She has so many twisted things. She's
fucked up. She is fucked up. Yeah. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, jeez.
So, I don't know if you noticed, but all of their names are a joke.
Yeah, they're all like puns of a phrase.
Do you know what Karai's is?
Is it like, it's like dark something. It's dark. I know.
Dark past.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Karai, I know it's like dark. I wonder, yeah. Yeah, I do wonder if there actually is like going to be a serious thing, like explore. This is like based off of a 4 coma, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I do wonder if anything at all, like there will be actually a serious thing explored by any of these characters if it goes down that line. I don't know.
It would be the ninja girl, right?
Oh yeah,
Like,
Ninja Girl.
if
Yeah,
any
like
of
what?
them.
And she's like alone. Like the implication is like she's literally living by herself, right? You know,
That's frightening.
everyone else has families. You know, they're just
Yep.
not seen, right? But like, I don't know. Like, where did she come from? Like, it's not even. We just know she's not
very
Japanese.
alarming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very mysterious. Yeah, I again, really, like the voice acting performance of the main character is really good. Like I can't even find much information about her. It doesn't seem like she has a strong track record yet developed like in doing anime or other things. But I really love like just her, when she's screaming and like when she does all those just noises, like it's really good. Like she has this weird whispery thing that she's doing in her performance that I thought was really good. I don't know, it was something that's like, this is
like
a very
when
unique.
she's like,
like,
"Oh,
yeah.
don't forget me, Empochi."
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a very, and like her voice too. I think like her voice sounds a little unique. I don't think I've heard that kind of voice either. Like in a lot of anime I've seen as well. Yeah, everyone's great and cute, and I hope Boshi does her best and succeeds in her task at some point. The friend, like I read a lot of hatred towards her old friend, the former friend, quote unquote. And I don't. It's Kai.
Kai,
Yeah. And yeah, like, oh yeah. There's a reason to dislike her. It's like, why would she do that? That's fucked up. But I also think it's just coming from a standpoint of like, no, like, like someone who probably doesn't have social anxiety and doesn't understand this is like a serious thing and you shouldn't just do that to someone. I don't know. It's very weird. I feel weird about Kai, but I don't think I hate her as like a lot of people kind of strangely express very, very strongly about Kai. From what
I
I've
think
seen.
she's just a weirdo too. That's
Yeah,
just
I
the
think
thing,
Kai's-
like based on her interactions.
Yeah, like they had the whole thing where they barfed at the same time when the whole like awkward run-in with her. Like they barfed at the same time, so maybe Kai herself is like problems, and we just don't know. I don't know. No, yeah, I still very much am in love with the whole, like literally just the second episode, the whole thing where like, well, like, oh, the bathroom is mysterious, like with Bruno. She just runs in with the recorder.
This running.
Like, what is that?
I really liked one of my favorite bits was the was Bochi's like a serious outfit or where she had
Oh yeah, it's like a
rehearsed the whole
kigurumi.
thing.
Yeah, it's a kigurumi
Yeah.
animal pajama thing. She like runs out and then like Aru finally comes at the end of the episode and she's like, she does the whole thing where she freaks out. She does her whole introduction, afraid, Aru forgot her and she's like sick and she like has to run back in and changes into the kigurumi.
Yeah. It's just a very endearing show.
Yeah, like the gags like have this randomness about them, but they're funny. They're not like, oh, LOL, random XD. They're funny. They're like well timed, and they kind of do have a sense to them because they do align with the characters' like own anxieties and the like a lot of things Bochi does is probably just her like copying or doing like a thing like, oh yeah, this calms her, like the recording. The recording's not really brought up again, but like I do love that part. Aru headbutting, like I'm like, wow, that's like a very powerful headbutting, and yeah, everyone's great, and I'm glad I experienced this.
I'm glad that you finally experienced it as well because
The cult of
now
Bochi.
you'll understand why we were like, fuck yeah, the whole time.
Wahaha.
Ha, ha, ha.
Very good show.
It's
God.
good.
Yeah.
It's a very good show.
Yeah.
You know what's really good? I've been watching Vinland Saga. Has anyone
Hell
else been watching it, or
yeah.
is it just me?
I did start off. I'm not up to date though. I watched the first 3 episodes and they had a weird break for like 3 weeks and I haven't
Yeah.
returned to it. I don't know. I don't know what the story behind that was. That's not typical for Amazon Prime series at all. So I'm not sure what happened there. But I definitely love this series, but I have not caught up with the recent episodes yet. So, but yeah, it's very strong.
And they put out 2 at once to make up for it. I think.
Oh,
this
interesting.
week
Yeah, I'm not
recently,
sure.
so.
I'm not sure what that gap was.
I don't either. It was very weird.
Mm-hmm.
But the most recent episodes have been like very good. The last one especially, I was just like, I love it. I love how that show manages to be like, sort of like edgy and realistic without being like offensive, which is something that a lot of that like sort of like trying to be like historical or like gritty stuff like fails to be. They always feel like they have the need to be like, yeah, we need to show you like how fucked up this is, and they show how fucked up it is, but without being like, we have to show like this really like grotesque scene or something like that. They don't do that. It's
kind of
really
like
good.
like, you know, when people make fun of like HBO produced shows, like, you know, like Game of Thrones as a mainstream example, like there's just so much gratuitous sex where it doesn't
do anything.
It doesn't do anything. You know, and there's like, you know, like awful things that happen in the series, like rape, etc. But then the series feels the need to show that, you know, like it's like, well, you don't need to show it. You can just, But
exactly,
anyway,
like Finland Saga is talking about like pillaging and all that horrible stuff happening, obviously, like because that's what Vikings did. But they don't show it. They don't have to like show like the like nitty gritty horrible things. You know that it's happening. It respects that you know what's happening without having to like revel in it.
Yeah, it knows it respects the audience is smart and can fill in the gaps. It also I think like, you know, with series like Game of Thrones and like again other series, you know, animated and non-animated, where they do like kind of things that are very exploitive, like, you know, they know why they're doing it. They want to like have people talk about the controversy, right? And that's unfortunately like kind of it's like, it's not to disrespect the viewers. It's really just to be like, they want people talking about this. Whereas, you know, like Vinland Saga is strong because it does, you know, it doesn't. It's solid on its own. I don't think it needs that to bait people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One thing I think that's really funny is that the main character boy now has Thorson. He now has 2 daggers that he's doing stuff with. And he is straight up just, I know it's Studio Wit, so it makes complete sense, but he is just straight up doing Attack on Titan sword swings now, like animated the exact same way, which God bless them. Because of course, like, why wouldn't they? But it's really funny.
Yeah, right. I'm sure there's gonna be like weird like callbacks to that.
Yeah, like I mean, like of course, like why not just do what you're good at? And it looks cool as hell. But it's very funny because like my roommate who didn't even know that it was the Attack on Titan people she said to me like, oh, like that's just like exactly what Levi does or whatever in Attack on Titan. Like what the hell? And I was like, oh well, funny story. But yeah, it is very good. I'm excited to see where it goes because I think the last episode was very strong, and I know people love the manga, so.
Yeah, I mentioned this like the last time I talked about Vinland Saga on the cast, where the anime is going in like a chronological order where the manga doesn't, and I think that's really appropriate for them to do that because I think it's important.
Absolutely.
I think like being in the animated format and like in a weekly streaming kind of situation, like I think it's important that there's an actual like literal order to like watching this, seeing how like, you know, Thorfinn like really like matures and also breaks, you know, like he becomes like, you know, like a darker character in all like over time. I think it's important to see that growth like in a literal order because I feel like the in media-res things that happens a lot in comics like kind of does it can like if it's not done well, it's not done well, you know, like, and you don't want to risk that, I think.
Yeah, I'm really like I have completely forgotten that you had told us that like a few times ago, but I'm very glad that it's the way that it is being, I guess, because I think it is doing it fantastically. Like it's really cool to see how they're like showing like what's happening to this child, I guess, as he's growing up and being more fucked up and why he is fucked up without like, because like I guess it's pretty trite at this point to be like, well, this guy's fucked up, but do you know why? Yeah. Actually, we're still coming out of an era where like a lot of fiction does that, or still does that, and now it's kind of like when the first things that did that was cool. People were like, whoa, you know, like, you know, people were questioning like, you know, doesn't this just like what's the point of knowing something happening if I already know what happens? But then a lot of movies, you know, especially like did that. Like a lot of movies consider like do that, and then now it's kind of like a gimmick because I think a lot of things are doing that now, right? And it's like, well, okay, I guess now now suddenly showing things in chronological order is now cool again. So I think it also might be very like intrusive if they constantly did a thing about like, let's show a flashback. Like that would have been very like interruptive, I think. Absolutely.
And it's very tired in anime, so you know. Yeah,
especially like that's the thing that's been really getting me, and it's felt refreshing about the like. It just feels like it respects you. Like that's the thing that's really gotten me about this show in general. It's just like because I've watched a lot of shows recently where it's. I mean, I watch every show in a season nowadays, and it's like. there's a lot of shows that just do not think that you can figure out what the fuck's going on, and it's just like,
Yeah, that was our like complaints with like the slow paced discussion. Like, oh yeah, Dr. Stone for some reason is literally repeating
exactly, yeah.
a thing in the beginning we already know.
Yep. Man, the last episode, let me tell you, same shit. Like, to go into that, like, I guess I'm the only one. Did you not watch it?
I know, I'm still
John,
on a pause with it personally.
You're on a pause with it too?
Yeah.
I just didn't get around to it. Like I hit a point today where I was catching up with everything. And
okay, so you're still gonna do it though?
Probably, yeah. But I was just thinking about it. I was just like, you know what? Chip and Veronica's just posted the fucking Code Talker episode for MGS5. I'm gonna watch that instead. And I didn't even finish watching that, so fucking whatever.
Like, the thing is just like, I really like what Dr. Stone is putting down on the table. I like watching that. I'm interested to see where it goes. I think, like, the science stuff is fun to see. I always like learning things, I think it's fun. Or seeing things, like, being applied in situations and stuff like that. It's fun. But, like, man, I don't need to, like, see, like, they spend so long, not even just with the recaps and stuff like that, but, like, especially in the last episode, like, they feel like the need to explain to you every single interaction that two characters have, like, to be like, oh, you see, now this means that he likes me and stuff like that, basically, like, over and over again. It's like, I know, like, I have friends, guys. Like, I know what having a friend is like. I don't need you to explain it to me. It just feels like very, like, these shows, like, I know a lot of them are intended for, like, teens or whatever and stuff like that, but even when it's not shows like that, even when it's shows that are rated, like, R16 or whatever in Japan, like, they're still, like, man,
Teens aren't even that dumb,
Teens aren't that dumb, you're right.
All I'm gonna say, and I might just do this too, I might just go out, pick up volumes of the manga, because maybe that's what you need to just do, is just read it. Because that's not gonna have the recap shit, that if there's anything that's just like, oh, it needs to explain, like, you can just skim over it. It's just read this, I think. I think this is just a Shonen Jump. Subscribe to fucking Shonen Jump. It's $2 a month. And just read it.
I think like, I don't remember if I talked about this last time on the podcast, but, like, there's such a difference between, like, I think, like, Kimetsu no Yaiba is starting to get better at it now, but, like, a lot of these studios that end up doing all of these shonen anime and stuff like that are just not equipped or experienced to translating it pretty well. Like, even Hunter x Hunter, which I love, is kind of rough.
Yeah.
Like, there's an entire episode that takes place over 2 seconds. That's the degree that it gets to. Just, like, I think, like, in recent memory, the only one I can say that consistently, like, was able to nail the pacing and be as good as the source material was Boku no Hero. Like, I really think that anime was, like, on par with what that manga was doing and didn't, like, waste time.
Yeah.
I wish more of them were like that, Like, I mean, we're a far cry away from the Naruto days of fucking 150 episodes or whatever the fuck. Like, we're past that, but, like, man.
But then at the same time, like, you just pointed out, and, like, hey, guess what? My Hero Academia is, like, one of the most well-known animes because it actually respects people's time and doesn't just do that shit over and over again and isn't just, like, it's telling the story and it's telling it well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
treat people like they have an inkling of intelligence, because most people do.
Legitimately, like, and even if they don't, they're gonna make content. They're gonna make a game theory video or something about it.
Yeah,
they're gonna make a game theory video.
Yes.
Anime theory.
Yeah, they're gonna make. Yeah. Oh god, anime YouTube. No. No. Yeah. Yeah. They'll look it up themselves. That's fine, right?
Yeah, like, they'll look it up, or they'll come up with their own crazy interpretation of it, and then start making the videos online that are like, damn, did Goku say that he was gonna fuck in this episode? I don't know. Let's examine this. Like,
he did.
So yeah, he did.
Maybe.
But did he? Like, and they have the debate, and see, that's free content.
with the thumbnail and, like, zoom in.
Goku fucked?
The red
Question mark.
circle. Yeah.
Oh man, it's just for real though. Like out there, I know you probably have all these companies have their like media supervisor or whatever, a marketing director who's like, no, like this is too, or like a producer who's like, no, this is too abstract or something. Like, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Twin Peaks is the best shit ever. That's what I'm gonna say, and that show doesn't make any sense. It's fine. John.
Yes, Rose.
I don't know if it is fine, but how's Pokemon? You seemed really like fucked up by it.
Or
Like-
traumatized. Yeah.
Yeah, you like those tweets you were making were like, oh no.
Yeah, it was a little messed up. So, okay. Here's the... I feel like we gotta, like, get a theme song for this or something. We just edit it in every time, just like the Pokemon check-in. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't know. So, the latest 2 episodes were more of the Pokemon League. Whoop-de-fucking-do. So, they finish off Kiawe and Sophocles' battle. Kiawe wins. That's really it. So he moves on. Nothing really happens. It's just fucking a battle, whatever. And then, of course, as I predicted, my genius predictions is Lana and Guzma. And Guzma just fucking kills her. I legitimately think that if I was a kid and I watched this, I would have nightmares. Because he sends out his Galiscopod. And it's against her. She's using a Primarina. And for those of you that do not know Pokemon, Primarina is like... It's like a cross between a mermaid and like a seal. Because it's like a... Poplio's the cute little like seal, sea lion looking thing. And so it's fully evolved form. It looks like a mermaid. It's got like the mermaid tail. It's got like the long flowing hair. It looks kind of human. It looks like a mermaid. Galiscopod is this big, stands on 2 legs bug with all these like pincers, and it's just like this creepy looking bug thing. So it brutalizes the Primarina. It is like the first thing it does is it runs up and chops it in the neck. Like you see the fucking Primarina like choking, and like it can't sing anymore, because that is how like its most powerful move is its singing, because it's supposed to be like a siren. For like 5 whole minutes, fucking Galiscopod is grabbing onto the Primarina and continuously stinging it with like a poison attack. Like it's fucking like creepy fucking like claw things come out from its back and they're just stinging it over and over again. And Lana's just sitting there horrified, and Primarina like it's like struggling to get free, and then there's a point where it does get free and it's like dragging itself away. Like it looks like it reminds me of like someone like trying to run away from like Jason Voorhees or something. Like it's fucking brutal. And then finally, they're just like, Lana, like all of a sudden, Primarina can sing again. So Lana's like, all right, I'm going to use my Z move. And the Z move is that it sings really loud and it makes this gigantic bubble. And Z moves in Pokemon are supposed to be the most powerful moves. Like in the games, you cannot dodge them, you cannot block them, they just happen. And in the show, Galiscopod just cuts the bubble in half. And that's it. And then knocks out the Primarina. And that's it. It was, like, legitimately upsetting. It's fucked up that they did this, like, trope that is just, oh man, here's the scary guy having to take down someone in the dude's team so the dude can beat him, and that's that. And of course, there's no women in the runnings anymore, so they had to take the last girl out in the most fucked up way possible. So yeah, that's that episode. So the semifinals are Kiawe against Gladion and Ash against Guzma.
It's fucked up that they did all that fucked up shit to Lana, and then we're like, oh, we're gonna pretend like she has a fighting chance, and then destroy her after. Like, that's... Mm-hmm. Hey, guys, chill out. I don't know what's going on over there, but maybe take a little break.
I have to commend you for describing that, because it sounded like you were describing, like, a witness to an actual murder. Like, you know, like you know, like
John
in a horror...
there.
Like you had like a supernatural, horrible, terrifying experience. Like a serial killer was like chasing after you in a house. It sounded like you were severely like traumatized, describing like what you witnessed to like the police or something. Like, oh man.
All right, give him a minute. What did Finley do next?
Like, yeah, do you need like a water? Like, do you need like a towel? Like, oh jeez. I'm sorry you experienced that though. I will say that. Like, jeez. Yeah, that sounds awful. It sounds unnecessary they did that. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm okay, you know, I'm not, like, legit traumatized, I'm okay, but, like, I'm just thinking about, like...
you're okay.
Thank you. But no, like, I'm just thinking about, like, seriously, I'm just thinking about kids watching that, like, any, like...
No, yeah,
especially any, like, little girls, like, God, I'm just imagining some girl just sitting there being like, Lana's my favorite, her pre-Marina's really strong, and then this episode just shows up, and this fucking grown-ass man is sending his giant bug to just repeatedly fucking brutalize this, like...
Hey, you know... We watched Pokemon the first movie when we were children. It was fine.
No, but yeah,
and I'm not okay.
No, but yeah, like in context, yeah, the series as is just it just continues to do like the women characters a dirty and doesn't take them beyond the box of like, oh yeah, they do things like contests. Like they still refuse to show like a main cast female character like actually be like a competent trainer. Basically, they're always like a weird like. Oh yeah, you know, like over hyper feminine. First of all, like they always want to be like, oh yeah, they have all the cute Pokemon. Like, okay, that's great, but like, you know, let's have some variety. And then second of all, they're always like, yeah, they reach a certain point where they fail early, or they kind of disprove them as being like, oh yeah, I guess they can't do battles, so you know they'll turn to content. You know, like they just keep pushing them in all these stereotypical like very feminine girly traits, and it's like not great, you know.
Yeah, because in this Pokemon League,
this week, yeah.
Like, in this Pokemon League, there were 3 girls in there. Like, no, there was more than 3 girls. There were a handful of girls, but the 3 girls from the, like, main cast were in it. And Lily loses, like, immediately, because they put him up against her brother. And her brother is Gladion. He's, like, the strongest guy there. So they immediately put them up against each other, and it's just like, yeah, like, what the fuck is she supposed to do? Like, she was afraid of Pokemon for the first half of this season. Like, what's she gonna do? And then they have the other 2 girls go up against each other, and, like, I feel like that would have been better if it was later, because there's actually, like, a good dynamic between them, and it would be interesting if they fought against each other later on, and then one of them went ahead, and... Like, that battle wasn't bad, it was just how early it was, and how they just, like, obviously just wanted to get fucking Mallow out of the way. It's stupid.
Pokemon League's just always gonna suck, huh?
It really is. So, okay, now let's wrap this up. The next episode has Kiawe's little sister, which I forgot to mention pretty much this entire time because I just think my brain wanted to just ignore this. But because this is like a central part of the episode, I have to talk about it. I completely forgot until now that they keep making Kiawe have like a sister complex. Like he's just like, and it's not like he's like, obviously it's not sexual, it's not like really that gross, but he's just very like overprotective of her and is like, oh, look at my cute little sister, nobody touch her, like that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, oh my god, please stop with this shit. And so she shows up because she wants to cheer him on, and like nobody else in his family, it's just her, which is kind of weird. But she shows up, but she gets lost, and she runs into Team Skull, and Team Skull like tries to scare her away with their Pokemon because she's like, they're like doing graffiti, and she's like, you're not allowed to do graffiti, and they're like, yeah, why don't you talk to us when you're looking at our scary Pokemon? And so Gladion shows up and like beats up Team Skull, and then like he's like, they have like this like little moment where Gladion reminds her of Kiawe, and then she reminds Gladion of like Lily when she was younger. So it's like, it's kind of cute that they're just like kind of like, oh, look at that. It's like they're thinking about their like their family, and they're like, you know, there's a connection there, and it's cute. And then Kiawe shows up, and he's just like, why are you near my sister? Oh no, like that shit. And it's like, dude, just fucking relax. Oh my god, like, it's fine. And then they start battling, because they're the match right there, and it's really weird because they kind of point out how, you know, there's Pokemon weaknesses and resistances, because Kiawe has fire-type Pokemon. So Kiawe's...
They pointed this out in the show?
Yeah, for once.
Sounds full of... I don't believe that for a second. They're just pulling this shit out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know. But so it starts off with Kiawe has his Alolan Marowak, which is Ghost and Fire, if you recall that. And then... what's the fucking... I always forget the English names of shit, because it's... They always... because I'm watching it subtitled. What's the fucking... wolf? Lycanroc. Yeah, because he has the Lycanroc. He has the red Lycanroc that looks like fucking...
Oh, fuck yeah.
What's his name from King of Fighters?
I guess so, yeah.
He does. He just looks like Iori. I think it's Iori. Yeah, he just looks like Iori. It's wild. So... Lycanroc just, like, immediately knocks out Marowak, because it's a rock type, and fire's weak to rock. So then Kiawe sends out his Turtonator, and Turtonator, like, randomly learns a fighting type move, just, like, out of nowhere. He learns Focus Blast, and then that knocks out Lycanroc. But it's, like, closer than you would expect. Like, they kind of have, like, a back and forth. But then Gladion just sends out Sivali, and Sivali can become any type. So I wonder what's going to happen there. Gladion's going to win. No shit.
Good. Gladion should win, because I love him.
So, yeah, this is how it's going. Gladion's probably going to win next episode, and then Ash and Guzma fight. So Ash will win, and I'm guessing the finals will be Ash and Gladion. The thing is I'm not 100% sure how it's going to go, because I think maybe they might actually have Ash win. Maybe. But there is, like, a final fight at the end where they're going up against Royal Mask, aka Professor Kukui. So maybe they'll just have Ash lose against Kukui? I don't know, because, like, of course they can never have Ash win everything, but I don't know how, like, I feel like they have to have him fight Kukui. So, I don't know.
You never know with them. That's all I'm going to say. They legitimately thought that, like, Black and White was going to end with Ash winning. Rono X and Y. Like, I've said this, like, 6 times now, I guess, but, like, everyone thought that. And you never know. He might just win this time. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Say this every time. Last 30 years, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, the anime's
Not
off
30
its
years.
rockers.
Yeah. Ugh.
For myriad of reasons.
Speaking of off its rockers anime, Elvie.
Yeah.
You've been keeping us updated on Tri Nights.
Oh my god, Tri Nights is so fucking bad. Holy shit.
Yeah, tell me more.
As I've emphasized the last time I referenced Tri Nights, which was literally the last Choochagatari cast. Oh my god, like, if I was the artist, if I was the writer for, like, the original manga or whatever, like, you know, again, I'd be so embarrassed. I'd be like, I can't believe this is what they're doing to my child, you know? what have they done to my son? Because, again, this manga is not even relatively well known at all. Like, I'm not sure how, like, you know, I'm not sure what the decision was made, you know, like, oh yeah, let's decide to adapt this thing. Because, again, like, I'm trying to look at the manga, I'm only able to find, like, a few images of the first chapters, etc. There's very little to find of this. Like, there's not even, like, a lot of concept art for it. Like, there's just very little. But again, from what I can tell from the art, like, it looks really gorgeous. Like, the line quality is very nice and varied. Like, again, it has a particular house style, so yes, the characters do have some sort of similarity to each other, you know, facially, etc. But there's, like, enough, like, subtleties, I think, in the art style, like, yeah, everyone has like different facial structures. At least there's like some difference in body types and heights, etc. Like you know, again, just to elaborate a little bit, Try Knights is basically a rugby anime, and there are apparently other rugby series which I did not realize until I discovered this horrible thing. But anyway, yes, it's a rugby focused series, and the premise is literally non-existent. I just don't care for it. It's like very generic. Like again, the main character for some reason lost his love of rugby at some point, and now he's in high school. It's not explored yet. It's not explained yet, but yeah, and yeah, he's motivated by like a delinquent in his class, like seeing him play, and then he gets an honor team. There's nothing really happening. Again, like this, I think the big problem with this series is that it looks so bad. It looks really bad. This is the first 3 episodes, and none of it looks good. Like again, like you know, the first 3 episode rule. Like you know, people are like watch a little more just so you know before you make judgment. But the production quality is so bad. A lot of the characters look exactly the same. They suffer from that problem where, like, yeah, you can only tell the difference between, like, their eye color and hairstyle, right? Again, like, if I were to quote, like, a quote in the first episode, you know, there's these minor characters joking, like, you know, like, oh, yeah, like, how dare this scrawny kid, like, try to, you know, be, you know, like, this is, like, a loose, and I forgot exactly what it was, but, like, something about, like, they're trying to size up someone, and they were just joking against the main character, like, how can this kid, like, outplay us, like, us muscled guys, when like everyone has the same body, the same skinny body. When they're
absolutely love when shows do that. I just want to say, like when they're just like, oh
yeah, they talk about body type, but then everyone looks the same. Yes.
Oh. God.
Like the most challenging thing I think when an anime is just designed and drawn poorly is when the characters go in profile, as in, you know, you see the side of their face, and how do they look from the side? Oh my gosh, they're so bad. Like, it looks really poorly drawn. They're very, like, skinny and skewed. It doesn't look correct. I think, like, the animators and designers are struggling in terms of, like, picturing how, like, these already skinny facial structures look from the side. It's not a good series. Like, so far... Yeah, again, it does this thing at the end of the anime segments where, like, at the end of the episode, we're like, oh yeah, we have these cute chibi characters explain rugby. Apparently, most offensive of all, like, you know, I was looking up, you know, other people's reception of series, which is also mostly negative. It's a lot of sentiment expressed where, like, yeah, the production quality is really bad, and it's very dry and slow, and there's really nothing driving the plot. Like, nothing so far is introducing any other stakes besides the fact, like, oh yeah, there's like rugby, and then yeah, the last episode really was like, oh yeah, some other rugby team, like there's apparently like a faction thing going on, like, oh yeah, they received a letter of a challenge or whatever, but again, nothing, there's really no high pressure stakes going on. But anyway, like, from what I read, how rugby depicted is also inaccurate. Like, they're not even getting the basic rules right of rugby, so yeah, it's not a great series. And you know, on the bad anime production, like, they're using CGI in, like, a lot of scenes where nothing is moving, and, like, there's no reason to use CGI in those scenes. Like, this could have been drawn, and this could have been still image without the pain of animating, you know, and adding more frames, etc. So I'm not sure why they chose to do CGI, which, again, I'm going back to my conspiracy theory, where for some forces, I think, are forcing studios to use CGI in places they don't have to, just for the sake of...
You think it's like a conspiracy, like the Illuminati or something? Or coming out and like, all right,
the anime,
here, listen.
The anime CGI, yeah. CGI Illuminati conspiracy, yeah, probably that level.
I'm with you. I'm telling you, with the amount of anime I've seen recently, like, anytime it gets to, like, a third-person shot, like you're saying, like, I was telling you this, but, like, they just make them CGI. Whenever it's a crowd scene, they make them CGI. Whenever
when
it's a fucking car,
yeah,
they're on a horse. The horse one kills me. I get cars. I'm going to say that right now. I get making cars CGI, okay? Yeah. Because it's easy to draw it, animate it in motion and stuff like that. You don't have to, like, constantly draw it over and over again. Makes sense. Horses? When they make a horse CGI, a horse that appears for like 30 seconds, and they make it CGI, I believe your conspiracy.
So bad. And it looks so bad. It looks like...
It looks horrible.
It looks like a source... Like, I mean, not source. You know, I was going to say, it looks like a horse, you know, coming out, like, the default... A default pre-made horse model coming out like a game mod kit or something.
Yeah.
Like a source... Like, they didn't bother, like, at least... design, you know, they didn't bother at least fixing it up so it makes sense with the rest of the art style. it's just like it looks like it just came out like that out of like the software, like already prepackaged like that. You know, it's just why
You stopped watching Arifureta before
Yes,
it
I
got to
have.
the big Hydra boss fight.
Yeah,
And when they
yeah.
fought this giant Hydra, the Hydra looked fucking horrible. It was like the
that's
worst.
sad.
I thought that in the third season of Overlord, they have these really bad CGI monsters that take up like half the season. They're just like walking around. They look absolutely awful. They just do not look good. And everyone was like, oh man, that's horrible. This CGI like makes that look good. Like that's how bad this Hydra was. It was like moving at like 3 FPS. It was like just no anti-aliasing on it or anything. Like it, man, at a certain point, I feel like these studios need to analyze, like, is it worth doing the CGI? Is it really that much, like, is it saving us that much time that it should look this fucking bad? Because it looks really bad. Like, I think Kimetsu no Yaiba is the only show I've seen recently that's, like, been able to implement it very well with 2D animation.
Right.
Because, oof.
So yeah, Try Nights.
Try.
Try Nights for me failed the first. You know, like watch 3 episodes and before you test. Like it failed the first 3 episodes test for me. So don't. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. Like I get like yeah. I'm not. Yeah. Don't watch it, please. Don't. It doesn't seem like it's going much anywhere, from what I've seen. There's nothing really driving it, and like the characters aren't really that interesting either. They're very. Like, everything's very generic, and I think it probably does a huge disservice to whatever like it was actually based on. So like, again, I can't really discern like what the manga's like, because again, there's little on it. So yeah, interesting decision for them to adapt it in a bad way. Like that's so
I really
insulting.
like that backhanded holy shit. Like really interesting choice you guys made.
Yeah.
Fucking making this garbage.
You dumbasses.
But here I'll
It's
let
probably
you, like,
probably one of those things they're trying to like, yeah, again, like with sports, they're probably trying to like lampoon off of things like Haikyuu being really successful and stuff like that, people really loving
no.
it. But like it's this, whatever they're doing with this, it's not working. You know, they gotta stop. You gotta stop.
I want to
stop.
say more power to Haikyuu fans, okay? But like as a like person who is browsing AO3, I am not looking forward to Haikyuu coming back because my god,
Very scared.
I've never seen a series get more fan fiction than Haikyuu does. It's so scary, and they do so many scary things, like like
I can imagine. Some wall tagging.
the
yeah.
hoops they jump through to make sure that they appear in the FF section of AO3, I will say, are certainly interesting.
I'm a little scared to ask what FF means. Oh wait,
No, it's
I
it's
remember.
Just,
Never mind.
Female, yeah.
I remember-
No, just
never mind. I remember.
Final Fantasy.
No, I remember
Yeah, Final
now.
Fantasy actually. Yeah,
I remember now.
I'm sure there's a Final Fantasy.
It's not. I don't even think it's the one you're thinking of, John. It's literally just like F pairs, like female. That's the tag.
Okay.
Okay. Here, I'll let you redeem yourself also, LV, by talking about an anime that you liked. Do you want to talk about Cannon Busters? Because I saw that just came out, right?
Yeah. I want to. I don't know. Like, I also. This is interesting because we brought up Haikyuu, whereas another thing I would like to talk about, if there's time, I don't have to. I can
Oh, go
save-
for it. No, fuck it. Sure.
Given was written by someone who made Haikyuu Dojin.
Oh, okay. All
But let me talk about Cannon Busters quickly because I think it deserves to be talked about. I'm not that far into Cannon Busters. It's 12 episodes. Well, it's a recent original anime series that's being distributed by Netflix. And the thing about Cannon Busters is Cannon Busters has this whole history behind it. It's made by someone who's technically an American. And this American animator, he was Sean Thomas, like he's worthy of naming. Like he grew up in New York. He's from New York, and I was very lucky to hear him talk one time when he came back to New York. And at Kinokuniya, of course. And he has like huge contributions to like the character design of series like Boondocks. He animated on Core, etc. And his story is really fascinating because he basically started off as a comic artist, doing a lot of things. And he's like, yeah, a lot of animation in the US unfortunately is still being outsourced, like predominantly. And he's, I don't know, like there's a whole thing about how he kind of worked his way through actually going to a Korean animation studio and like working there. And it's really cool. So Cannon Busters like is kind of inspiring because it was a product of basically a comic he made on DeviantArt like many years ago. And it kind of just developed like into a much stronger thing after that. And like it basically just started off as like a comic comic issues that he managed to find like a small publisher to do, but it never really finished, And I guess he eventually like worked his way through like developing it to be like better adapted for an animated series. So like a pilot for this was Kickstarted like some time ago. And that showed, and that had mixed reception. Like my opinion of it was like, yeah, it had some pacing problems, and it definitely feels different compared to what it is now in this longer series form. And yeah, good for him. So it definitely brings up the board discussion, like, what is anime and whatnot. So the creator is American. He's African American. And he's from America, but then the series itself is being animated in Japan by this like anime studio that hasn't really done like things that are well known. They've done a lot of franchises like some idol anime, etc. But it's being distributed by Satellite, who has distributed like the Macross series, etc. They didn't animate it, that's different. But yeah, so it does bring up that interesting discussion. And yeah, so far the series is really fun. Though, like, if you're looking for something serious and like super deep and immersive, like, this is definitely not that. This series is just like a light, fun thing. Like, if you like things like Trigun and Cowboy Bebop, like a lot of people are comparing the series to that, like as like in terms of inspiration.
Oh hell yeah, then.
It's definitely that, but I would say it's definitely not like super like high level of like Cowboy Bebop, but it definitely is something very inspired by it. And if you're someone who's just like, oh yeah, just something light in the background, or just something that like you need to. Need to load off of like maybe something serious you saw, like, oh yeah, Cannon Busters might be something worthy of your time. And yeah, it's just one of those things where like it focuses on this ragtag pair of characters, group of characters. It's a typical premise, like it focuses on this ragtag group of characters that don't seem like they belong to each other, and they're trying to find something both literally and figuratively. It's kind of like a Western where so you have this android girl named Sam, and she's really cute. She's like very naive with like how she works things. And then she's just paired up with this like robot that's technically considered an older model compared to what she is, named Casey, and like they're just traveling together trying to find this fugitive, this guy, and like the guy ends up in their group essentially, and they basically end up just on this like just chase where like, oh yeah, this fugitive guy is now like kind of like a bad mark on them, and now they're running into all these horrible people and all this villainy like on the road because this guy's not with them. But they're the bigger problem is that at hand, like there's like a prince, etc., where they're trying to find there's basically like a bigger, greater problem that they're trying to find someone. They're probably trying to find a prince to like fix the kingdom, etc., and to resolve all the like the greater conflict that's going on in the kingdom. But yeah, now that they have this criminal essentially attached to them, like now they're just running into all sorts of trouble, and it's like opening up all these other problems that they didn't initially see. And yeah, it's like one of those cute things where like the main character is really naive and very innocent, so it's like an interesting contrast to everything else going on. Yeah, it's just a fun thing. Like I feel like it's also one of those things that harkens back to kind of the insanity of series like Gurren Lagann and all that. Like, if you're into that, like I think you would find some joy in this. Again, it's not something that's super deep, and I like, again, don't go into it expecting some like artistic like excellence. Like it definitely suffers from some like animation problems where like it feels, but I feel like no, it suffers from like problems typical with like a lot of digitally animate, a lot of anime anyway. Like yeah, some scenes feel stiff, but where it shines really is like in the action scenes. Like there's very like interesting character designs, very diverse character designs, which I highly appreciate. I think the show shines a lot with its like character designs, especially like with what they changed between the pilot, and then like me researching like how the comic looked like. It's very fun. It's very lighthearted fun. It seems like it might go into really dark shit at some point. I'm kind of afraid of that, but so far it's like a nice little trip. Do support it if you feel like inclined to.
Is that all out now?
Yeah, I think all 12 episodes are out. Yeah, Netflix puts out series entirely because they're encouraging the whole binging culture thing. So like all 12 episodes are there. So yeah, I do recommend to check it out. And if you don't like it, you probably just don't like it, right? It's just one of those things.
You can just not.
You can just not. You can just leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can just drop dead. Fuck you.
Yeah. Don't drop dead.
If you want to talk about Given now too, you can totally go for it.
Yeah, I'll be kind of quick with it. Well, Given is I think Given the manga has been going on some time, but Given is like legitimately gay. Like it's like wow, okay, so Given is Wikipedia describes it as a yaoi manga series. I wouldn't go as far as say, because I don't know, the blur of yaoi is like yaoi can be
the
explicit.
connotations and stuff.
Yeah. But Given is basically a gay drama series based off of manga, and like apparently the creator she made like Haikyuu Dojin, or is a big Haikyuu fan, and so someone literally told me at the front like, oh yeah, this might be like an AU of Haikyuu. Or anyway, the point is, it revolves around like the premise is similar to K-On, but it's not like K-On. It revolves around these high schoolers, and this music club, well, explicitly a band. So, so thank you, Haikyuu, for starting this thing. But like, I have very high hopes for the series because it feels like it's very legitimate and genuine in what it wants to do with tackling gay relationships, and not in like a very contrived, oh, this is for fan service only way. So the premise is that like this one guy, he runs into like this, his classmate, another high schooler from the same school. Like, oh yeah, he seems pretty down. But then he gets strongly interested in when he hears him sing, and has this strong interest in like the music he plays and all that, and he gets to know him, and then he realizes, oh gosh, I'm kind of infatuated with this guy because he has this weird allure about him when he sings. And then he brings him in on his band, and there's like these two older guys in the band as well, who are not in the high school, but they're like budding college students or whatever, etc. And yeah, so far it's very slow paced, but it seems very authentic when it's talking about like things like, oh yeah, you need these parts for like a sound system, etc. Like there's one episode where literally like he's one guy's shoehorning the other guy like into the band, but he's like, oh yeah, you don't have a guitar, you don't have the right things, and they literally go like through music shops and like are buying the parts to like, it's interesting. I think it might be like accurate, but yeah, it's gay. It's really gay. There's like a line where he says something like, oh yeah, I had no idea he was like strumming so hard on my heartstrings, etc. It's very gay.
Wow.
And so far it's like kind of wholesome, but I kind of spoil myself a little, like, but it gets really deep into the drama of like some of the dynamics of the relationships, and the music so far in the series and written for the series itself is really good. Like the best way to describe it is that it's like rock music, but it kind of has like, like this alternative sound to it, and like, excuse me, because the rock music community can be like a little elitist, so I'm being careful here with how I'm describing it. But the art style is really good too. Like again, compared to something like Tri Nights and a lot of other series that does like, oh yeah, we want to pander to like the shonen. It doesn't suffer from like, oh yeah, everyone's too skinny, the proportions are weird, yaoi hands, etc. All that. I don't think it suffers from that. Like everyone feels like full-bodied and anatomically correct.
That's always a plus.
Even the women,
especially off of Tri Nights, I guess, right?
Even the women, because I feel like series that has this like heavy male focus to pander to like a yaoi, like the women sometimes are depicted in like weird, exaggerated ways that doesn't make sense. The women here are very grounded so far, and I like the women characters too so far. They don't feel like a weird, forced like thing. Yeah, the backgrounds I noticed like also. So speaking of CGI, the backgrounds I think uses photography sometimes, or like it could be like heavily referenced or traced over photography because it looks like it, but it doesn't feel wrong. It feels like actually like properly, like and it feels properly like contextualized in the scene. Like there's legit a scene where they're basically one of the main characters, he works basically at like a 7-Eleven kind of deli thing, and the backgrounds are literally just photos, I think, of like
like a PS1 game.
Yeah. Yeah, every time it doesn't feel like it kind of gives an intentionally funny effect. Like I feel like it's deliberate too. But yeah, I got some more insight of some of the relationship dynamics going on with some of the characters, and I'm curious to see how the anime might handle some of the explicit things that might happen. Well, not like, I don't know how the manga like depicts it. I don't know if the manga is explicit per se, but there's definitely sex happens in the show. Like characters had sex. Yeah, so like, and there are things where like a character had like an ex-boyfriend, or like there's a thing where another character like has this problem sleeping around, and how that affects another character negatively with men, men and women. Like there's explicitly a bi character, I have very high expectations of the show and how it handles things because so far it's pretty tasteful and realistic. Like it's explicitly just a drama with a band, and like it just happens to have like gay relationships with it. And so far, it doesn't feel like it's done in an exploitive way. It's just doing it and like, yeah, here's what it is, just as is. Like it's about time there's like some grounded like boys love title that isn't just
yeah,
yeah, it does yeah.
I will say like something that I've been happy about recently is that like stuff like oh my god, Bloom Into You.
Yes, like a lot
and
of
stuff
more
like that has started to come out. That's normal, like human type stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that it's not just for Yuri stuff. It's also like on the like gay men side of things. Like that's very nice to see. I'm loving way more of the grounded stuff that we've been getting recently. Like even just in games in general. Like we got The Missing last year and stuff like that. Like I'm very. Like a lot of Japanese media recently has been really picking up, kind of almost putting a lot of like Western media to shame recently, at least in my opinion, with a couple of stuff. It's very nice to see that. It's very nice to see.
So yeah, basically all I have to say is that I'm just looking forward to what the series will do, especially when it comes to handling some of the harder topics I kind of spoiled myself about. So yeah.
Well, I hope that it holds up and does it all well.
Yeah.
I've only heard good things. My girlfriend's watching it right now, and she loves it. She said basically all the same stuff that you did. So
it's really gorgeous. It has this nice like muted, warm color palette to it too.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. John, would you like to do our questions and opinions? Because I think we've done enough.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up. All right. If you want to send in a question or an opinion, go to videogamechuchu.tumblr.com/ask, and we will absolutely figure out which is about anime and which is about video games, because I can tell.
Usually, I don't know. Do we still have the? Oh no, it's gone now. But when I checked earlier, the 69-2, the pre-com question, that was still there.
I thought about keeping it there, but I was like,
it was really funny. I don't know. Did you see that one, LV? It was really like...
I haven't caught up yet with the
okay, you're not missing out, really.
Okay.
There was this one question that was worded like, mwah, a chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Looking forward.
Yeah, just sending questions there. We'll figure it out. Gregory Zero, here's an opinion. Started a full rewatch of Senki fucking excuse me. Zesho Symphogear. Now that season 5 is airing, and wow, I had completely forgotten how ridiculous it is right from the jump. The show almost constantly tries to one-up itself with very half-baked reveals and major characters just making the worst decisions in the heat of the moment. It's far from a franchise I would recommend to anyone, but I'm certainly having a good time going through it again. The Symphogear hype is very real. I feel like people are just fucking like insane about Symphogear. I see so many people that just like have watched Symphogear.
Everyone who likes it.
They're like all like batshit crazy. It's always really scary.
Hey, I envy them. I wish I could have that much. Like every time I see the people I know like watch a new episode of that show, they are going like bananas for it in a way that I don't see anyone else go bananas for something, and I honestly love it. I honestly am like, hey guys, I'm glad you're having a good time. I only watched half of season 1, so I still have a lot to watch, but I can kind of get it, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially
if you watched it when you were younger, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of the same energy as the Precure franchise and that community. It's the same energy, honestly. I'm like, but two different genres.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Another opinion here. This one is from a previous guest on the show, Century Punk Robin. And I guess you can chime in here, Rose, because I guess you watched this together. She says, I watched the 3 Madoka movies, Beginnings, Eternal, and Rebellion. Maybe it's because I had been spoiled on the broader plot details of the series, but the first 2 movies were fairly mediocre to me, with the highlights being the style, music, and Hamura Madoka's relationship. Rebellion, though, was fantastic, with its upped production values and the focus on Hamura. The ending was satisfying, and I absolutely adore Bebe. I'm glad I watched it. Shaft still rules, and Urobuchi is still my enemy. I am kind of shocked that like both of you seem to have come away from Rebellion positive? Because I thought that,
I liked it back in the day.
The consensus.
So-
I thought the consensus was that it was gross. I don't know. What you want to talk about it? You want to defend Rebellion here?
Yeah, I will defend Rebellion. So first of all, I do want to say with regards to the first two movies, so I just chose to watch those because, I mean, so the Gurren Lagann movies are better than the series, right? I've always said that like a million times. Like they do a better job of pacing and everything like that. Mm-hmm. I think in terms of animation and everything that they do, like the things that they add into the Madoka movies, all that stuff is great, but they end up cutting out a lot of character building. Like, a lot. Like, to the point where, like, they cut out almost everything that happens with Mommy. Like, except for, like, the obvious scenes that they would keep in. But, like, they don't have,
just
like...
gotta kill her, that's it.
Yeah, like, they don't have any scenes in her apartment. Like, you know, like, where they have tea and stuff like that to show them, like, you know, bonding or anything like that. They don't have, like, anything to show you, like, why she became a magical girl or anything like that. That's a real bummer. And they also cut out the scene where Hitomi runs away saying girls can't love girls, which is like, why would you cut that out? That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I don't get it. Like, but those first two movies, I kind of regretted being like, oh wait, so yeah, we should watch these because they do cut out like way too much. And also they end at a weird spot. The first movie ends like right when Sayaka is about to, spoilers, Sayaka is about to die. And then the second movie just opens with like, her dying. And it's like, okay, guys, that's a weird choice to cut there, I guess, but all right. But the thing with Rebellion is that A, it looks beautiful. B, they really started to nail their storytelling presentation way better than the series, I think, to the point where like they have like all of these cascading things going together. The logic of the antagonist is a lot more like compelling than just this trite normal entropy stuff that every anime uses ever when they want to seem like they're super smart, you know, like where they come out and they go, the antagonists are doing it because the universe can't last forever, guy. And it's like, whatever. But they went in a lot more interesting way that I think worked well. And I think a big problem that I have with the Madoka series, the original series, is that it just sort of ends and is like, well, fuck you, Homura. I don't know. Like it sort of invalidates, like...
I didn't feel that way. I felt it was just a bittersweet ending about, like, her kind of accepting the, like, that she was never really gonna win in, like in her own way. And then it was just her accepting, like, well, I actually, like, did the best that I could, and I saved the world, and I made sure that Madoka's happy in some way, and, you know, I almost feel like that show... The show is almost about, like, letting go in a relationship in a sense that, like, you know, maybe just... So, like, I like the way that show ends, I almost feel like it's, like, accepting that someone is, like, dating someone else or something like that. Like, I kind of felt like that's how it's ending in a way.
Well, the thing I like about Rebellion specifically is that it does such a great job of displaying how Homura is, like, traumatized by all the stuff that she did, basically. It does a really, like, much better job of showing, like, she's fucked up by what happened, all the stuff. Like, she's, like, is not making decisions, like, she's making decisions based on what her logic that makes sense from her experiences would tell her to do, even if it doesn't necessarily make complete sense and stuff like that. And, like, the way that specifically that ending I really like because it matches with her character, that she is going to keep going for this goal because she's trying to do this. Like, she has been trying to do this for so long. And, like, I think, like, there's a specific line she says in the movie that I really, like, understood that she was, like, that works with a lot of the themes that it was going with, which is, like, she says, like, I've been going for so long that all of the that with all of the emotions from going through everything that I have been going, like, pain became inextricably linked to all of those emotions. So now pain is just a part of the good feelings too, and stuff like that. And I was just like that. That's what ends up happening when you, like, go through, like, really bad things. Sometimes, like, you get caught up with, like, weird ideas about things just because of how, like, the brain works and stuff. And I really like that movie a lot. I think, like, its presentation is fantastic. It has a lot of more blatant gay stuff, like Sayaka and Kyoko, that's really good.
Maybe I should actually watch it, because I stayed away from it from so long, just because, like...
So have you never seen it?
Like, just so many people just kept saying, like, don't watch it, it's Urobuchi just, like, leaning into punishing Hamura, and I'm just like, I really don't want it, because I really liked how that original series ended. I really like Hamura. Maybe I should watch it. It's just, I don't know, just the thought of, like... It's like so many people just told me not to, and I mean, I trust you, and maybe I will, but God, it just... I don't know. I just heard so much shit, and then I just don't fucking trust Urobuchi to do something like that.
Never trust that man. But like, I don't know. I tend to have these edge opinions on things, so I don't know. You don't necessarily have to trust me, but I really, really liked it. Rewatching it again, I was worried that I wouldn't. I was worried based on like what you had said, like perhaps like because I watched that film when it came out in theaters, back in like 2013. So I was still like, let's say, not the most aware of things necessarily with themes regarding misogyny in media and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But like, so I was expecting like to like, oh yeah, like rewatch it and be like, oh no. But I rewatched it and I liked it even more than I did before. Like the animation is like beautiful. It's like the most Shaft thing ever, but it doesn't end up like feeling like hoity-toity like a lot of Monogatari stuff can.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? Like,
yes,
it's very like down to earth. Like it's visually beautiful. It's doing all the crazy visual stuff that Monogatari does, and it has like some nuance to the conversations and a lot of like in-depth look at character stuff. But it doesn't go like crazy. Like, well, now let me compare it to the doves that grow in southern Africa and fly through the sky, because it's quite similar to that. You know, like it's nothing like that or anything. Mm-hmm. So. I was really happy with it. I really liked it. It doesn't have like the happiest ending in the world, I guess, but it has a compelling ending that follows with the story.
Okay. All right. I'll think about it. All right. Let's see. Harlequin Wheels asks, which anime/game mascot with a perverted personality would be the most satisfying to empty a gallon of milk on? Bonus question, if they can turn into a human, which one would be the most satisfying to kick in the shins?
Pour a gallon of milk on him? What does
Why
Wheels
milk?
do all day?
What's the milk?
Is this what Wheels does?
I guess to tiny...
Like,
I guess Wheels does this to tiny, horny animals. That's what I'm guessing he does. I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Merlin from Fate. He's not an animal.
Then is he your answer for kicking in the shins?
I mean, that's if they can turn into a human. So, like, the thing is, I was going to say Teddy, but I like Teddy at least a little bit, you know, still, despite it all. Like, I still like Teddy.
I feel bad for Teddy.
I feel bad for Teddy, too.
He was turned into that.
He's a product of his environment.
Yeah, that's not his fault. Fucking... I don't even hate Morgana, but at the very least, Morgana was like that. All right, no, that didn't happen to Morgana. Morgana was like that from the start. Teddy, they dropped a poor innocent bear in a room with a bunch of porno, and they just like expected him to be okay.
That's the plot of Persona 4.
That is the plot of Persona 4. Yes.
They expected him to be okay. He was not okay.
He wasn't.
Do you have an answer, LV?
I have to think about it.
Okay.
There's so many choices. It's difficult to pick one.
QB is a product of his like unfortunate. You know, like I can't just. I feel
He's
that's
kind of
easy.
intentionally a bastard though. A lot of the time.
Yeah,
And is he horny?
He's not though, right? I don't recall.
Yeah, I guess he's not really horny.
Like he's a little bastard, but it's not like he's like
Just the little girl. Yeah, it's not. Like Dara or something. But I wouldn't beat up Dara. Like Dara's fine. Dara's just like he just needs to be pushed around once in a while.
He needs to go to a school. He needs sensitivity training.
Yeah, right. Like what? Like I wouldn't subject him to like milk. That might be bad for birds. Maybe. As is, he's overeating the mochi. That also is bad for birds. Birds shouldn't be eating like rice-based products. Jeez.
Don't they explode if they eat rice?
Yeah. What the fuck?
That's what was happening to him. Well, they imply he's a robot multiple times. I want to say.
Yeah, because he's like a projector. He's like a projector thing.
She says like one of your circuits
he-
must be on the fritz like twice or something, and I'm like,
he's
what?
a projector, and he doesn't remember what happens when he's a project. Oh, it's fucked up. God, I don't know what country they're from. Jeez. Yeah, there's a lot. There's like that's like such an annoying trope throughout. Like, what's that? See, the thing is, I was never like into Bleach. What is that creature in Bleach?
Oh, Khan.
Khan.
He's really bad.
Yeah, I was not into Khan. Like my brief you know, dabble into Bleach. I didn't stick around for it. It was just not my thing. But Khan, I didn't like Khan. I felt like he was unnecessary.
Oh, extremely. It was he was literally designed to be like, I feel like exactly like Tite Kubo was like, oh fuck, I don't have anything to write this week. Time to just write whatever like weird horny dream I had, I guess,
like
with this fucking stuffed
character.
animal.
Yeah.
Since it says game, I'm gonna say Tales of Berseria has this fucking little cat thing called Bienfu, and he is a little bastard. He is horrible. He did this thing where he like tricked some like girl into like doing all this stuff by saying like that it was part of like their magical partnership, and it was so gross. It was just horrible. It was like, I hate this little man.
That's bad.
He's bad. He wears a little hat too, so if you poured milk on him, it would get under the hat, and then he'd just feel horrible. His little hat would crumple up. Good.
I think Wheels is onto something.
Yeah.
Got poured the milk in.
Is there even like, I'm trying to think of like a really bad, there are like so many I can think of, but I can't think of them, you know? Like, I like know that they're out there, but I've blocked them like in my memory so that I don't remember them.
Like, I only remember the good ones. Like, Chio's dad is very strange in Azumanga Daioh. Like, I remember stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, Chio's dad, Santa. He's also Santa, so like, why would you, don't... Like, leave Santa alone. Like, I only remember those good ones. I love the dog in, like, Kill la Kill, like, for instance. Like, it's like, oh, it's like a cute little rascal. Like, I don't remember the bad ones, think, like, a carrot, yeah. But that is such a common trope. It's like, why is it not coming to my head, right?
You know what I want to pour some milk on? Some cereal.
All right.
Just a thought from me to you.
Just a little thought.
All right, I guess we'll move on. Last question is from Kawaianobu. It's with KyoAni on the mind. K-On! Season 2 had a very distinct glow-up in production quality compared to Season 1. What are some of your favorite examples of this in a series you have watched? John, I prohibit you from saying Pokemon Sun and Moon because we know already.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. Thanks. As an extremely cursed example, irredeemably bad series Haganai got a much better production for Season 2 because the studio had Oremo money. It did not make...
That's blood money right there.
Yeah.
Blood money.
It did not make Haganai be not awful, though.
Oh, blood money can't fix anyone's problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. I found, like, with all its flaws, my love-hate relationship with Bungo Stray Dogs, it has distinctly improved per season. And I don't know if that's a result of, like, because I'm pretty sure it's accurately following how the manga arcs work. But Season 1 had so many strange things where they kept doing flashbacks, they kept reusing footage. It was very slow. And like towards the end of Season 1 onwards, like, it got better at focusing on different characters. It like, in production quality, seems like it gone up too. Like, they stopped doing the whole thing where they kept reusing footage, etc. And like, it started, and I guess it's also a result of the story exploring more serious things. I felt like that, like, because that's the most recent example coming to mind since, like, that ended recently. And of course, might inevitably have a Season 4 at some point. But that came to mind recently. It definitely improved, like, per season. Like it reflected in both the story and the production quality, I think. I'm sure there's other things I can think of, but that's my most recent thing I can name.
It's not a perfect answer, because it's not like it was bad, but God, even though the first season was really good, Season 2 of Mob Psycho was so much better still.
Oh, yeah.
I think that counts.
The animation kicked up with that, too. I think that's, like... I think that was, like, a big thing for it as well. I agree.
Absolutely.
It would be easy for me to say like the Gurren Lagann movies were like very good. Like I think I liked the original series of Gurren Lagann, but the movies like fixed like every single problem with it. The animation became so much better. The pacing became so much better. It was like, oh wow, you did a great job with this. Like fantastic, good work. If you're talking like just anime season to season, part 4 of JoJo.
Oh yeah.
In terms of like animation and presentation and everything compared to part 3 was like miles ahead. Like they really stepped it up, I think. Like obviously there were the story stuff going on in that to be better, but like even just like animation and music and everything was just, it was a lot better. Like it managed to capture like what that series looked like part 3 did, but not look bad like part 3 did a lot of the time. So yeah, I would say that. Yeah. Does that do it then? Is that all of our
yeah,
questions?
that's everything for questions. I think we're done here.
All right. Then so I should say our next anime, because we've got it. Y'all voted for this, right? Like we took viewer requests, patron requests. I should say.
We I kind of just threw it up because I forgot to do it for a little bit. That was my bad. But on Patreon now, you can go to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/VGCC, and there will be a post on there. You might have to scroll a little bit, because we're going to be posting stuff. But there is a post on the Patreon. We'll post another one here and there that you can comment on. That you can give us requests for shows that we can watch in the future. The rules are just that it needs to be, like reasonable, like 12 episodes, and it needs to be readily available, and it can't have any like crazy triggering content, maybe like 1 or 2 things, but just something that people can reasonably handle and that we can be aware of beforehand so you can tell people. Just, be reasonable. Something that you can show to, that you would want to show to your friends, that you would want to show to us. And we already got a good amount of replies. We're going to save everything that you all are recommending. So, it's not like we're just going to keep throwing out old ones and then bringing the new ones in. We're going to keep all of that in rotation. So it's going to be every other month. So this upcoming month is going to be something you vote on. Next month is going to be, I think is it my turn again? I think it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is your turn again.
Yeah, so then it'll be me, then another patron vote, then I think you, Rose, I think.
Yes.
Let's we'll figure it out. What matters is that you get to vote every other time. So go patreon.com/VGCC. You have to pay $3 to do it, to comment. So if you want to get in on voting, it's $3.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess that takes our Patreon plug there too. You got it. All right. And cool. So
what is the anime? We did not say
what is the anime? I'm going to say. No, I got it.
Okay.
It's Erased is what we are going to watch. You can find it on Crunchyroll. It's all right there. It's very easy to find. I think this time. I feel like the past few times High Dive isn't that out of the way, I guess I should say, but this one's nice and easy. Just watch it, 12 episodes. There's not even a movie this time, I don't think. So
yeah, thank God.
Yeah. We're just gonna watch Erased. It'll be a nice time, maybe. I've heard it's sad, so maybe it won't be a nice time, but we'll see.
It's pretty sad, yeah.
And I guess we should shout out the person who recommended it.
Oh yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah, thanks to Beryl, our patron Beryl, who recommended Erased. So we will watch your recommendation, Beryl. Thank you for the recommendation, and thank you everyone else for your recommendations. We'll shout you out if we pick yours.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to whatever else anyone recommends, because the first recommendations we got were pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that does it, I guess. That's another episode in the books. We did it. We talked about Tamamoko Market for... Oh, I said Tamamoko Market.
Tamamo! Back to Tamamo.
We talked about that for a while, but I think we had a lot to say about it, you know? And you know what? I think it marks at least the very least that it is a good work of fiction overall if we had so much to say. Like, it inspired that much, like, debate, and we wanted it to be better in ways because of the good things we liked. And I think that's always a nice thing you can be, is like that you want something to be better. That's the best criticism I think something can get. But yeah, that about does it. Thank you both for joining me. Trixie should be here next time, probably, barring anything else. So that about does it for this week's episode of Choochagatari. Have a good one.